Yes, we are back right here on another episode of Club Talk Podcast. If this is your first time checking out the pod, shout out to you, and I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, comment, all them good buttons down there. Share all that good stuff, man. Before I introduce my guest for today, of course, I gotta shout out some people. This man who's in here, hey man, 20 years doing this. So we got some unpacking to do. We got some unpacking to do. And behind the scenes, he was telling me, like, I thought about starting the pod. No, then I call like in foot one in, 1 foot out. I'm like, listen, man, cut the shit. Start the pod. Goddamn, all that shit. Yeah, man, all that experience you guys got, likes of him. We're gonna get into the story. But of course, back home in Philly, shout out to my boy Joe with Joe's Chef Like Catering. If you are in need of a personal chef, if you need event cater, you need meal prep done, serving the tri-state area, that's Philly, Jersey, and Delaware. He can handle all your catering needs. Even if you got an intimate dinner, he does dinner for twos. You can order shit by the pan. I mean, whatever you need, he got you. Everything is fresh right there, made to order. Nothing frozen, none of that. Preserving shit, tucking shit out the freezer. As soon as you order, he hooking it up for you. So tap in with Joe. That's Joe Chef Life Catering. Right here locally in Columbus. If you're trying to get right fit wise, you want to hit up Whitehall Nutrition Lounge. If you've been in Columbus, you probably already know about them. You probably know where they at. They're right off of Broad in Yearling. Get you some health teas, some health shakes. They also got a gym right next door. You can also get your workout on too. And I believe they have annual and monthly fitness challenges where you can join a group so you're not left alone. I know sometimes the fitness journey you be alone, you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. They got groups and they got, instructors there to help you along your fitness journey. So that's Whitehall Nutrition Lounge right from Broad and Yearling. Last but not leastly, shout out to Deontay Tatum with the FlyerAgency.com, based in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you need any graphic design, any logo creation, website design, merch, business cards, flyers, whatever you need, the FlyerAgency.com, ran by my man Deontay Tatum. He got you. And all of these, that I just mentioned, all the descriptions all of their links to the websites and their social media will be in the link of this description of this episode. So there you go.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Health is wealth, man.
There you go. You gotta take care of yourself.
Health is wealth.
All right, man. Let's get a man a proper introduction, cause y'all don't get this motherfucker's credit. Man, put in work. We chopped up behind the scenes when we setting this up. And you tell her, listen, man, I like what you're doing. I would love to get on. I got stories, and I'm 20 years deep in this. I was like, 20 fucking years. He got some
man, and I feel like a baby to all the legends, but
But you made a name for yourself, and you carved your way through your journey. So let's run down the titles, man.
Oh,
man's not a promoter. Let's get that straight. Been there, done that. Booking agent, manager. Let me see here. I'm just going to run down everything. Let's go.
I've been called a lot of things.
Yes, right. Yes, booking agent, managing director of Everybody Else's Entertainment.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Everybody else's. That's right.
Everybody else's.
It's not for me.
Entertainment.
It's for everybody else's.
I love that. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Former contractor for Live Nation.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Okay.
Man, this man went to Columbus Arts and Design.
Yeah.
He's done. Put on. We gonna get into it, I'm sure. So many shows in the city. Managed a lot of artists. He's connected with a lot of movers and shakers in the city of Columbus. It is none other than the great Grant Gatsby is here. Yeah, man.
No, I'm just a,
Do you feel like? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go because just reading all that stuff, that's not even scratching the surface because we're gonna dive into a lot more things because we'll be here all day reading all your fucking titles. Do you feel like you get the respect that you deserve for the work that you put in over the years in this city?
Man,
because I'm just like looking like, God damn. Do you feel like, you know what? I feel appreciated for the work I'm doing.
Well, it's a question that's been asked before, but it's a pretty brutal question because a lot of people who might want to get into it or not want to get into it, you want to motivate people and you want to say, hey, we need everybody we can fit in everywhere. You know, if you can communicate, you can bring people together, you know how to do contracting, paperwork, management, whatever the case is, motivation. But in the industry and in entrepreneur industry and especially arts and entertainment, people behind the stage, people that are behind the scenes, that are everywhere from the sound men to the stage managers, to the guys like me, the tour agents, the booking agents. You know, even outside of arts and entertainment, you know, when it comes to teachers and certain professions in general, people see the person on stage.
Right, the front man.
And that's great.
Right.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Let them shine.
But at the same time, when it comes to crafting, creating itself, curating, branding, pulling together, simple idea creating, we have to have, I gotta have broad shoulders.
There you go. And people who are like in the positions that you are and do what you do, y'all are often behind the scenes, and casual people will not understand that there are forces behind what you're seeing presented to you, and they just think that this big presentation that you're seeing is just, oh, wow, that was great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a great play that was, man.
Right.
That was an amazing light performance and stage setup.
Yeah, and you don't realize that there is strings behind that pulling and tugging and making all this stuff come together. And we're going to dive into that. But
yeah, for sure.
You know what? Let's start from the beginning, Grant, you know, so that we can make this all make sense for the people who do know you, but they probably don't know the journey, and also people who probably just getting to learn about you now.
Okay,
So let's bring it all the way back so you can make sense to the people, because they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who's Grant Gatsby? If you don't know, we're about to find out, and we're gonna uncover it all. Okay, so born and raised Columbus?
Born and raised in Columbus.
What side are we talking? Where you
kind of everywhere.
You bounce around.
Came from Westerville, North Side, West Side, all the way out by London. Lived in the middle of the city, multiple places. So here, there, and everywhere.
God damn.
Yeah.
Was that like your family just like try to figure out like where the hell we gonna settle at, or just like
all my family? A lot of my family is from the countryside of 70 West. Close to the border of Indiana, out by Eaton, Brookville, past Yellow Springs and Dayton. Out on 70. Yeah, Look. You're either dating a girl from Eaton or you're either eating a girl from Dayton. That's what my uncles used to tell me that shit.
I love it.
But I came out from that way.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad came from two families, both strong out that way.
Okay.
And they, there was a lot of things and a lot of exploration and the way that they were that didn't fit some of the countryside of things, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So they packed up, they took off, and Dad went to Ohio State. Mom graduated from Sinclair, and they moved here, and the rest is history.
Wow. So is this like your younger formative? We talking like early 80s, 90s? Give us a time frame.
Well, I was technically born in Columbus. I was born in Grandview, technically.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I wasn't actually born at Grand Hospital. That would be crazy. I was born at Riverside Hospital.
Ah, okay. So you technically couldn't claim, I can get my, Columbus.
Yeah, I'm Columbus till I die. I've got roots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Elsewhere, but I was conceived and pushed out here. I love it. Okay, so
shout out to mom and dad.
Shout out to your mom and pops. So tell me about like the the family dynamic coming up? Brothers, sisters, only child? What was the family dynamic coming up?
I got a brother. Just me and my brother Drew. Shout out to my brother Drew.
Shout out to Drew.
And
older, younger?
Younger.
He's younger. So you're a big brother.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, Grant.
Yeah.
You was tough on him, wasn't you?
Oh.
You fucked with him.
I mean, I fucked with him a little bit, but he was the one that was babied. I was kind of like the experiment. And then once I became Grant, you know, and did my thing and becoming into Gatsby, you know.
That's right.
You know, he was a little bit more sheltered. They didn't need him running around like Grant was running around.
So you was off the rails. Like, we got to protect the young one.
Yeah.
We got to coddle him because the fucking Grant, what the fuck, man? He's off and running. So what the age difference between you and your brother? By a big gap?
Only a couple years, 3 years.
Oh, okay. So it was like a large.
Yeah, it was like
gap.
2.5 years. Yeah, something like that.
Did he like follow you around? Like, was he one of those little brothers? You like, get away from me, man. I'm trying to go out and take your brother with you.
He was on my ankles. Yeah. Still is.
To this day.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's crazy is I was watching your interview with Columbus Central Creators Ohio podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, Central Ohio Creators podcast. Yep.
I was watching your interview with them. So I've been following them since they started, and I want to invite those brothers on and get them on here. So if y'all watching, one of y'all, I know it's 3 of them. I know it's 2 on screen, but there's a guy behind the scenes. I want to get
Marquise and Jay.
Shout out to Marquise and Jay. I'm gonna get y'all on here.
Y'all, that's what I'm saying. You guys got trained.
Yeah. See, I want to put this out here because I'm not from this city, so I'm not. Okay. And we're gonna explore this. I'm not one of those people that's cliquish like y'all motherfuckers are. I know y'all fucking cliquish, and I want to ask Grant Gatsby about this as we go on. Why the fuck is this city so fucking cliquish? Man. I want to mob with everybody.
Man.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get into it, Grant.
Hey, I'll spill the beans.
I love it.
I'll name drop.
You gonna give it to me straight?
I ain't got no bullshit.
Nah, I love it. Nope. Thank you.
Nope.
Okay, so we're going to get there. So we're still in your formative. You're coming up, and I was going to when I was watching that interview with you was mentioning because I believe they asked you about how you got into hip hop and stuff like that early on. And you were sharing your story about like how you started watching like Yo MTV Raps and you coming across Ice Cube and all that stuff, and that's kind of like how you got into like the music and all that stuff. Talk about that, like your first memories of like coming across like hip hop, being from where you're from, because being from where you're from, it's not like that's right in front of you.
Yep.
You kind of got like dig and search.
Not
or you
at
just
all.
got a friend that's like, what the fuck are you listening to? Like, who is that? Talk about that coming up when you first came across, Yo TV Raps, hearing hip hop for the first time, and how you reacted to it.
Man, that's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah, man, it's I always loved arts. Obviously, I went to CCAD, went to Columbus College of Art and Design.
Was you like artist first?
Oh yeah, I do graphic design, marketing design, illustration.
Was that your first love, the visual arts and drawing and all that? Was that?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's how I first. Yeah, as far as artistic wise. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's how. Everywhere from sculpturing. I do sandblasting nowadays. I do most of my first 10 years of flyers was all by hand and all drawn by hand. Oh yeah.
So before we get to the hip hop thing, because that's interesting, because we try to do a chronological thing. Because that was first interesting. So when did you realize you had a talent with that? Like, in school class? Like,
so. When y'all was still when kids were still drawing stick figures and not really figuring out even how to hold the pencil, I was already drawing human figures. Damn. I'm 5-10 years old and I'm getting it already.
So you
proportions, nose, ears, placement, human figure drawing, still lifes, coloration, hues, tones, values. I see the world differently.
5-10 years old, you are operating like that as an artist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so you was advanced like a motherfucker.
I mean, I don't go around saying it like that, but like you talk to teachers, you talk to some people. I mean, I was all the boards. You remember all the old school boards that teachers used? And they're putting everybody's pictures up there. Yeah. Mine was the one that was going in the front cases, in the front of the schools every single week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wow, let me ask you this. That's interesting. Because
my dad was an architect.
I was going to say, like, was this in your background?
So it's in the blood. Arts and crafts is in the blood.
Architect.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that creative side from him.
Yeah. I could read blueprints at 15, 20 years old.
Is he showing you this stuff, or you just like around him?
Okay, definitely around him and showing it. My parents, my two parents, shout out again to my mom and dad, they were very open.
Yeah.
And very allowing me and my brother to express. They might have still been strict, like, hey, don't be writing on the walls. Right. Okay, don't be graffiti in the walls and shit. Yeah. But they really wanted to allow for whatever expression. Even if they tried to control it and didn't want it to get too crazy.
Right.
They were getting me, I had an art desk, and I was using college utensils when I was 10 years old, middle school. So they really allowed me to express it. So, yeah.
So if it wasn't for your parents, because, what you hear a lot sometimes is that sometimes parents are out of touch and they don't get it. And they kind of like push their child or shame their child. Oh, what are you doing? What is this mess that you're creating? And they shut it down. Yeah. And it prevents that child in their adolescence from really flourishing, exploring, and honing their craft. And it sounds like with your parents, they, like you said, poured into you and your brother. Like, you know what? Yeah, let's go. Like,
I was lucky.
Yeah,
I was lucky.
Wow.
I mean, when I got older and I started to come into myself of who Grant was, and I became the rebel that I was. Oh shit! Standing hard with a fist up in the air. My mom started to pull back a little bit. You know what I mean? Once in high school, she didn't want that extremeness to come out. Yeah. But they allowed that to come out when I was young and early. Right. And they allowed me to express. I mean, we couldn't afford everything. Right. So my mom's like, well, what do we do with a Halloween costume? Oh, well, I'm going to sit down. She was a teacher. She was a teacher, K through like young kids. Okay. Through the churches and the schools, and then also became not a counselor, but helping people with disabilities when she got older. Okay. So she allowed us to kind of come into ourselves early, and so we would make our own Halloween costumes, and decorate the house and put up our own pictures and send out our own cards to the families for the holidays and things like that.
Yeah, so y'all got y'all got to really like dive into that at an early age. And your parents allowed y'all to, especially your mom. That's unique, man. So would you say if it wasn't for that freedom coming up, like you wouldn't be able, would you say that you would still arrive to where you was at without that, tutelage? Like, you know what? Let our kids be great. let's push them to be great. Let them go. We'll keep them on the leash, but we ain't going to tie the leash too tight. But let them explore. Would you still think you turned out the way you did?
I've thought about that. Yeah. No one's asked that question before, and I've thought about that. Part of me obviously wants to be like I am who I am. Right. And I've been that way, obviously, since I was a kid. But, and then you got different things in school, like art classes to sports classes to, I liked basketball and football and stuff like that. Okay. But I would say there's no way that I could logically and intelligently say that I would be who I was to this day if my mom and dad didn't allow me to express myself. Wow. Yeah. I can't. I was taking CCAD pre-college courses before I was in high school.
Damn.
And they put me in that. And they worked their asses off. My mom and dad, we did not grow up we were lower to middle class. Right. And my dad always was an architect, and my mom was always a counselor and a teacher. We moved to a couple different places and school systems and stuff, and they busted their butt to provide what they possibly could
Wow,
provide.
shout out to your parents, man. They did a hell of a job. And it sounds like they understood how important that was for children because, like you said, your mom is in that system. Your dad has a creative brain. He's busting his ass. So them two together, and then those two people have kids, so they probably like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
Go.
Hell yeah.
Spread your fucking wings.
Hell yeah. Now, of course, my personality and my blood and my my fingertips and who I became to be.
Yeah, a little rebellious, a little aggressive.
I really extended. You know what I mean?
God damn it, Grant. And see, it's always one in the family that gotta be the one that gives everybody problems, that makes shit a little bit challenging, like he's the fucking one.
Yeah.
Did you know you was that type of kid? You like, I know I'm the one.
Okay,
like,
see, here's the thing.
Or you like, I'm just fucking me.
No. I was the most... I didn't come into who I really was. Like, even when I was middle school coming into high school, all right?
Okay.
So I was in North City schools, came into the West Side. All right?
So we like 15, 16 at this time?
Yeah, 14.
14, okay.
I was like before high school.
Before, okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So I'm coming from best of both worlds. I like to say that, best of both worlds, the country, the city.
Absolutely.
Getting able to recognize a lot of different things. We don't need to get into a lot of different things that I would come across.
Okay.
But as I'm moving, we moved from North City schools to West Side schools and out to West Jefferson.
Woo.
So how I was raised. Now, even though my mom and dad came from the area they came from, they obviously moved to the big city for a reason.
That's right.
People. They love people. That's all that matters. Artistic, teaching, the whole deal.
That's right.
But when we moved, I was a goody two shoe up until that point. All right. So we moved. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like. We moved to the West Side and West Jeff in that area on Broad Street when New Rome was still a thing. New Rome Cops was still a thing. And I immediately, and when I say immediately, I can prove some things immediately. I was not the good looking, fresh talking, fresh dressed city kid coming to the country. They didn't know I had a country background, but they didn't like me. There was a lot they did, but I didn't.
It made it rough for you.
Yeah. So I had to learn quick.
Big culture shock.
Big culture shock.
Man, because you're like out of your element.
Look, I always said this. I say this to this day.
Yeah.
I was too country for the city, and I'm too city for the country. I still, to this day, my boy, I still feel out of place sometimes.
Still to this day?
Sometimes I still feel out of place to this day.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's weird. Where do I fit in? You know what I mean? I've always felt that. So
it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
But I made what's work. I made it work,
Yeah, it's crazy because you said it almost seems like your life has been a juggling act. Like juggling over here,
man. And then once I got out of high school, and I was angry with the world, and I loved doing art, and I wanted to make sure that I showed that to everybody with a stone iron fist.
Right.
It was hard for me. I got in trouble.
Was it more so like, you know what, I can't allow myself to be food, so now I gotta like build up this exterior to survive, because if I don't, I'm food. They're gonna eat me alive.
Straight up. So I'll tell you right now.
Go ahead.
Right now. Straight up.
Fight.
I moved to West Jeff, played football.
Ooh.
The first game of the season, everybody went to this local pizza shop, and I talked about this. Shout out to my boy Joe and Rudy Would Listen podcast. I don't know if you know Joe and Rudy Would Listen. I told this story extensively at my first Rudy Would Listen with Joe.
Yeah.
But long story short, first game, sitting on the sidelines, freshman, didn't dress then, and went to the local pizza shop afterwards, walked the wall with my football dudes from the team, been there at this point in time for 3 or 4 months now.
Okay.
And, some of the guys didn't appreciate me being there, and some of the girls and some of other people just wanting to be friends, and who's this new kid, and blah, blah, blah. And we went to the little video store. A bunch of friends came in, said, hey, man, this dude's hanging around outside.
Oh, shit.
And he was younger than me. I was a freshman. Okay.
So he had to be like junior.
He was an 8th grader.
Damn.
Now bear with me, though.
Okay.
Besides my inexperience of knowing how the real world works at the time.
Yeah, you're learning.
Not knowing how to protect myself, the whole deal.
You're learning.
He was also 3 grades under. He should have been almost a senior.
Oh.
Dude was 300 plus pounds, 6 foot, whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Had his hand packed with quarters. Because between that part of the country and certain parts of the city and those little areas outside of cities, it can get rough. Yeah. So he knocked my teeth out.
Damn.
And
now, did you know him at all?
No, not at all.
He just waiting for you.
No, just waiting for me.
I'm just gonna fuck this guy up.
Circle, everybody crowd around the whole circle thing.
He waited for you to come out.
Yep.
Damn.
Last fight that I ever lost.
That's the last one that you ever lost. Let's go. That won't happen ever again.
Nope. I don't fight fair neither.
You picking up shit, grabbing shit?
Oh, no. Yeah. It's street shit.
Oh.
100%. That's how I learned.
You don't play by the rules?
Nah, absolutely not.
Really?
Nah, my dad told me, he goes, there's no reason to fight unless you're protecting yourself. And if you protect yourself, you make sure the other person can't move.
Damn.
But he ain't a fighter either. Okay. He ain't a fighter.
So he like, by any means, do what you gotta do, get the hell out of there.
There's no reason to do that. There's brother fights. Yes. There's friend fights. Yeah. It's really becoming to wrestling matches. Everybody has their own idea.
Tussling
we've all landed a few. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
But at the end of the day, if it's outside of family and friends and kin, that's what my dad told me.
Shit.
So
somebody gonna die today. It ain't gonna be me.
Well, there's been I had a
you got some scraps, huh?
I got some stories.
Oh my!
I got some stories.
Lord.
But
so would you say like you had tons and tons of fights throughout your high school days? People just constantly testing you.
Not really, because after that
they got the message. Because
of the communication. I got along with everybody, the goth heads, the metal heads, the sports players, everybody. I got along with everybody.
Right.
I've always been cool with everybody. I don't give a fuck who you is.
Yeah.
So if you're cool to me, I'm cool to you.
Yeah.
If you respect me, I respect you. So what I always learned was that you communicate first.
Yeah.
And you build first. You try to understand first.
There you go.
And a lot of times after high school, and even through high school, through those years and after high school, I didn't have a lot of conflict unless the conflict was literally something happening and you had to protect yourself.
Yeah, you're not starting shit. You were just responding and
protecting a friend or something like that. Yeah. But I wasn't going around. People fucked with me.
Damn.
I'm happy for that, but that's you know.
Ooh, and that's where that it's crazy because like I forget who I was talking to on here. I think it was because we was speaking on something like that. I forget who it was, but talking about like how your experiences coming up shape who you become. It shapes you like as you come up, because as you experience shit as you coming up, like you're taking those experiences and now like you were saying, like I gotta learn how to navigate out in the real world, because like you saying, like hey, you come from this background that you're coming from and now boom, you're in this environment. Now you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And then as you go along, those experiences, like you're going to sing or you're going to swim, and then that skin that you got to wear, like you're talking about, like sometimes like I feel like I fit in, sometimes I feel like I don't.
Yep.
I can be like this with this group of people, but when I'm in this environment, I got to turn this on.
Correct.
When I'm here, I turn it off.
Correct.
Man.
Absolutely.
Lord, have you ever... And we're going to get back to the art and the music thing.
Yeah.
But this is making me think, like, have you ever felt like, have I ever really truly been able to be 100% me?
Oh man, that's a great question.
Club Talk Podcast, great.
Man, bro, I'm not even lying. I'm gonna give a real quick shout out to
Please.
My girlfriend and my lover, Annie Ozzie. Annie Osborne. Annie like the orphan, as she likes to say. The reason I brought her up is, man, you're good, brother. You're good. You're bringing up all kinds of emotions.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I love everybody, and I try to love everybody, and I try to take my experiences with where I was, how I was growing, coming into an artist. What do I want to do? How do I want to create? Am I going to create? Am I going to am I a people person? You know, where am I going to go to? I'm not the biggest fan of school, but I love art. I love the theater. I got to be me. You know, 1 minute I'm, again, the reason I say the statement, I'm too country for the city and too city for the country. The reason what that means is when I'm around this is straight up the truth. Besides 3, 4, or 5 people on each side of my family, I don't feel comfortable with them.
Really?
I don't feel close to them. I don't feel like I can relate to them anymore. I haven't for years. Then we moved to the city, and there's, you know, being involved in music and art scene and being talkative and being loud and being expressive and being, I mean, you've seen some of the things I've made. Shout out to Wheezy. A part of my passion. I get loud. I get excited, and people think I'm yelling. They think I'm what? Holy, that guy's he has cool shoes on. Why is he yelling about shoes? Is he angry at the shoes that he got, or is he like actually happy he got those shoes?
It's this guy's deal.
People don't. It throws them off, and I want everybody to know I'm aware of that. I work on it every day, but I am who I am. Yeah. And for many years, I tried to fight against that. Family members, parents, whoever it was, Grant, shh. I know, I get it. I try every day. I work on it every day. But I started to get, as I graduated school and I went into college and I started to get involved and start everybody else's entertainment and started to host and book shows and speak and whatever I was doing, I still would get these things from people. And obviously that's on me as an adult man to be like, okay, Grant, well, I do want to talk in that conversation. So maybe just kind of keep. So there's things that we know we all have to work on. But setting that aside, I felt like I never fit in because I was either too passionate for the passionate people, or nobody who wasn't passionate didn't understand me. And I kind of felt like I was out of place. And even up until, let's see, we're talking 2025, 2024, 2004, 2004, 20 years into it. There are definitely some friends, shout out to Jay Rawls, Illogic, Blueprint, Keto, Product, Mixmaster Ice. There's many people that have accepted me for who I am. And have trusted me. And with all the bookings I've done, and they've trusted me, and they want to get to know me, and we've built as friends. Yeah. So I'm glad of that, but that doesn't mean that I'm not completely aware that sometimes, even up until 5-6 years ago, not feeling 100% connected. So I had a bad relationship. I even had friends sometimes. I even had a couple close friends sometimes that would literally tell me, Grant, I love you, but I still don't think, and I'd get angry. They'd be like, you still haven't come into who you are, or you still aren't happy with who you are. And I used to get angry about that. Man, I'm doing this. I love people. No, I'm not saying that. It's just still, there's something missing. And even though maybe close friends might be able to tell that, but they would always tell people, rather in the music, my friends or any of the people I mentioned, Grant's a great guy. We trust him. We love him. He's a good dude. But he gets really excited.
Right.
And that's just what it was.
Yeah.
But after about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a bad breakup, and I had I had another really horrible situation I talk about with, on Rudy Would Listen with Joe, and COVID hit right after that. So it was about a series of a series of 2, 3, 4 years or so that I was real depressed and I was real down. I even had a shout out to Andy Downing of Columbus Alive. He even wrote an article based on a little bit of some of my history coming into everybody else's entertainment and some of the things I went through. And that all kind of led up to that. And I will tell you, I would have told you then that I was definitely myself. But I was about 70, I was at 75%. I wasn't quite 100% there.
Wow.
And after COVID hit, and I learned how to let things go truly and really accept that I am loud and I am passionate and I'm happy for that. And when I met Annie, and about 3 years ago or so, I felt like Grant Gatsby and who I am as a person all finally came together, and this one individual was like, I love you for everything you are and everything you do. And those kind of after breakup years through COVID, leading into meeting Annie and her personality and her character. And those two things, I don't apologize anymore.
Wow.
I don't apologize anymore.
Wow.
And I've always considered myself a good person, but shout out to B Jazz of the Liquid Crystal Project. I always used to use the word humble. Anybody that's watching right now, look up the definition of humble. Now, when we say humble, what we're really trying to say is I'm a good person. I care about people. I care about people's shit, my shit. I want to make sure that if I got to fix something and work on something or help you with something, we will. Fuck being humble. So B Jazz told me this, and I looked, he goes, Grant, stop. You don't need to be humble no more. He goes, you got to stop saying that word. And he's truthful in the sense where there's words in our English dictionary that are bullshit, that come from historic bullshit. And there's meanings and background that are wrong. And when you read the definition of humble, and you read that, anybody watching it technically starts to talk about being weak and not being yourself. And being yourself is a negative thing. And that's absolutely false.
Wow.
And so anyways,
Wow. That's...
telling you.
Woo. That's powerful, Grant. That is powerful, because it's interesting how people from the outside looking in who look at you and they have relationships with, whether they're friends, family, or clients, maybe artists that you work with, and they're telling you these things and it's feeding you. You're like, what the fuck do y'all want from me? What am I doing wrong? What am I not doing wrong? What am I doing right? Why am I getting this?
Stop apologizing yourself 24/7. That's what I've done.
Right.
Most of my whole life. I'm sorry. Yeah. And even though I'm glad that I was instilled and taught and raised to be understanding of other people's needs and feelings and respect and everything.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean that you need to apologize all the time for who you are.
Right. This is just who I am.
Right.
Sorry. I can't change myself. That's good stuff. And man, shout out to your lady Annie.
Oh man.
Because sometimes as men, we have this innate thing about us that we we're fixers. We're problem solvers.
Yeah.
We want to like, yo, whatever needs to be done, let's go. Let's fucking do it. Do I need to be quiet to make this work? Okay, fuck it. I'll shut the fuck up. Do I need to be loud to make this work? Okay, let me turn it up.
Yeah.
Do I need to be docile? Do I need to be quote unquote humble about
Correct.
this shit?
Correct.
All right, you know what? Let me get along so we all can get along.
Yeah.
And then I have to reduce myself.
Yes.
But when you come across someone who loves you for who you are, and they don't try to push you this way, they don't try to change you, they don't try to point out, oh, this is your problem. You know what your problem is? They don't do that shit. You know what? I love you for you. And that makes it, that home environment makes it easier for you to go out in that real world, which we talked about earlier, and now be able to like, you know what? Fuck all of y'all.
Yeah.
just fuck all of y'all.
Yeah, and let me explain. And I'm going to tell the difference. There's a difference between saying fuck y'all and fuck y'all.
Yes.
Okay?
Exactly.
There's a difference between that.
Yep.
I used to think that it was one and the same. And it's not.
Definitely not.
All it's talking about is not apologizing for who you are.
There you go. I'm not gonna conform and twist and contort myself just to appease y'all.
Yeah.
Like either you like me for who I am or you don't, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah. And accepting that. And that's hard. And on my side of things, that was hard.
That's hard.
For a person that cares.
There you go.
And does care what somebody else thinks about me. You know, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it was hard.
Yeah.
But it became easy. Once I went through, you know, this bad breakup and I was robbed. I was robbed at gunpoint in this whole situation. That all happened, and then leading into before I met Annie and up to, and then during, is when I completely started to mold and change my blueprint of my thinking.
Yeah.
And you want to know what the funny, craziest part about it is?
What's that?
The most friendship, personability, business, family, and personal strength, success, financially and mind, body, and soul that I've had in 20 years.
Wow.
The most have been the last couple years since I started to have that.
Shit.
I'm not kidding you.
That's wow.
It's blown my mind.
You went through a whole life of just not having that. And as you were saying, like, it's hard to accept that because you normalize not having it. You're like, you know what, fuck it, the hell with it, just whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of scaring me, like, wait, hold up. So I
Yeah.
can be myself with you?
Yeah.
Like, so you accept me as I am? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. That's what it took. It took me to be alone, for those things to happen, and start changing the blueprint.
Yeah.
And then finding an individual. I've had a lot of things in my life with women. They either love me or they hate me.
One of the two.
There ain't no in between.
You go love me, you hate me.
When I started to accept who I was and accept these things from the past and learn, and then I found this woman and had this woman that loved all those things.
Yeah.
And we all have our sense of, when we're in a relationship, we all have a sense of we really love that person. If both sides really come together, marriage or not or whatever,
Absolutely.
you find your soulmate.
Yes.
But setting those regular human differences aside and those regular things that I never used to be able to handle, that I can handle now because of her, which goes into my business.
There you go.
It all kind of wraps together. And what it really came was accepting. It was accepting on my own and alone who I truly was and don't apologize. And then finding someone that then said, not only you're right, but I love it. Oh, you need to stay home and work? You need to work? You need to work on your craft? You need to do this? You need to A, B, C, D, E, F, and G?
Yeah.
That's fine. I understand.
Go ahead and do your thing.
Give me time. I need time too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm about it.
That's it.
And all I ever heard my whole life, besides my parents in the beginning and growing up, once I got into high school, I was hit with fists for everything I tried to create and be.
Man, it's a constant uphill battle for you. You always fought your life.
I feel like a whole creatives. I feel like a lot of creatives do in their own way.
Yeah.
Rather it's my story, Copy's story, your story, anybody's story.
Yeah. There's always an uphill battle.
I actually still believe that. I mean, I'll tell you what it is. We're not going to talk about right now what's going on in the country because we all know what's up.
Yeah.
But as far as creatives and open-minded, but I feel like when I started to learn and research human history and who I was, where I'm from, where they're from, where everybody else is from, where my parents are from, where my musicians that I love from, where's Andy Warhol from, where's all these people from, what I started to learn very quickly is that the world says they love creatives, but then they build up walls for all of us constantly.
Facts. They try to put creatives in a box, and y'all don't fit in a box.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
So you can't put creative people in a box.
Oh, well, he's in school. He's A type. He's B type. Man, fuck your types.
You don't fit in
I don't think I'm better than anybody, but I'm not that.
Yeah, that one thing doesn't define
I'm not becoming a doctor. I'm not becoming a sports player. That's not what is passionate about me. People are passionate. Creating art for people is passion. Bringing people together. Is there a degree for that? I mean, you can get a communications degree. Well, what does that get you? You're on the phone at a call center? No, man, that's not creative to me.
Right. Like, fuck this bullshit. Yeah. And it's like, creatives, like, it's almost that people love and hate y'all at the same time because y'all got the balls to rebel against the system. And some people let the system define them. And y'all like, fuck.
We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn.
There you go. I got the definition of humble here, everybody. Just in case if you didn't pull up on your phone.
Hey.
Humble.
Okay.
Let's read it. Not being proud or arrogant or having a modest attitude. For example, you might describe someone as humble if they don't think of themselves as better than others. Exactly what you just alluded to. Not being proud or arrogant.
Not being proud.
I can't be proud of myself.
Like, what kind of whitewashed ass bullshit is that? For real?
Yeah.
Like,
it's almost like, who the fuck you think you are?
Yeah, like
you're down here, little man.
And now you're gonna attach it to arrogance and cockiness.
Yeah.
Just because I'm proud?
Yeah, arrogant.
Craziness, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Man. Let's swing back into so okay, we covered the you having this amazing gift with the artistry, sculpting and drawing and all this stuff. And you come over to this new environment on the West Side, you get into that fight and that wakes you up like, okay, time for me to now I understand what this life shit is about. Let me become this. I got to become this person. Yeah. So at this point, for you said that was the last fight that you ever lost. Did you simultaneously get into the music at this point, at this age?
No.
Or did that come a little later?
No, that came because I was at the beginning of high school. So music and arts and entertainment, as far as fully being involved, fully loving it, and wanting to do something. Yeah. Even if I didn't know what I wanted to do.
You just knew you loved it.
Yeah.
What was the first song that you heard, if you could recall? Like the first hip-hop song, if you could recall. Was Rapper's Delight? Like most people don't at the time.
Oh, shit.
I'm curious to know what was the first rap song that you ever heard, if you could recall.
Okay. Now, I can't actually, technically I cannot
the very first
actually recall the very first songs. I'm sure it was, I guarantee you it was a plethora of Run DMC, LL Cool J, all the Tommy Boy Def Jam artists, all the Beastie Boys, all the Tommy Boy Def Jam artists, because Beastie Boys was still on those rock stations, Yep. So I'm still kind of, and then Walk This Way, and then I'm seeing Adidas, and I'm like, but I can't remember the first
Actual song.
Actual songs. I remember my dad's records. Okay, he had Michael Jackson Thriller, Temptations,
Nice.
Marvin Gaye. I mean, Moody Blues.
Wow.
Who's the Simon and Garfunkel?
Wow.
The two duo in the 80s.
Two duos in the 80s. Soul singer?
Yeah. They were the white dude and the other dude. They had the Jerry curls.
Oh, shit.
They were a duo.
Damn it. I'm trying to remember. I can't. It's not coming to me.
Oh, man. I'm sure all my musician friends are
They're probably yelling the name of the scream like, it's
not the Bee Gees.
Not the Bee Gees.
But anyways. So I remember some records.
From your dad's collection.
And my daughter's from my dad's collection. But when we're talking hip hop.
Your dad had soul. I'm going to say, you just do that like
You
that.
should see the college pictures.
You probably had a fro?
Straight up. I'm not kidding you. I got pictures to prove it.
That your pop had a fro?
Yeah.
Wow.
My like I said, my mom and dad were just diverse people who just loved people, man.
Yeah, they embraced it all.
Arts, entertainment, they didn't care.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to tell them, "Oh, you're going to high." I mean, they haven't told me the detailed stories, and that's okay. When I was younger, but they were definitely warned, and told not to come out to the big city and all that stuff, man.
They said, fuck
so,
that.
yeah. So my dad's music collection, my mom's music collection.
So you dabbled in their collection first. Like growing up in it, like their records.
So we're listening to cassette tapes are coming out, right?
Cassettes, yeah.
CDs aren't even out yet.
Okay, cassette era.
Dad's got the old 8-track in the basement still that we're popping in. You know what I'm saying? So as far as a first song, first music, first record I remember that I actually remember now, I do remember.
It's going to be embarrassing.
Middle school. Shout out to JD. You know what I'm saying? JD does a lot of great work in the music industry. He has a lot of artists that have done great, but everybody's got their artists or their individuals that might have been one-hit wonders or whatever. I remember the 2 cassettes that I remember getting, bro.
Here we go.
I remember getting Crisscross, the single, the cassette.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the secondary single on that? It was I Missed the Bus. I Missed the Bus. Remember that shit? So
you had the cassette of those.
I had the cassette. Then I had the cassette, the one that I had. Okay, so this cassette I bought. I know for a fact I bought over 5 times because my mom and the babysitter found the cassette and threw it away, and I'd have to go with my buddies again to get the cassette and hide it somewhere. Baby Got Back. I knew that whole song.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Front to back, Sir Mix-a-Lot, give him props. Do you know what his second single was?
Damn, I don't. I can't recall.
Put 'Em on the Glass. And I think it was like, pretty sure the video was a washing your car video with a bunch of dope rides and girls in bikinis.
So those are your earliest memories of
And then the one that saved me, for all the musicians listening to me, the one that saved me, or the other one that I remember, the third one would be Busta Rhymes' Woo-Ha, I Got You All in Check.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Technically,
there you go.
The song that we listened to that came out, it was a dope beat. I can't remember who did that beat. It was dope. But on that cassette was 6 versions of the song. I'm not fucking. No. It was like it was like instrumental, and then the lyrics on either on each side of the cassette.
Gotcha.
But I'm pretty sure it was like there was 4 versions. So there was 3 other remixes. Keto, DJ Prime. You gotta check me on this shit. Dude, if I had this cassette to this day, I would have brought it with me. One of the singles that did not make the final song, but it was a remix beat, was J Dilla. I actually thought
you have that.
I know I don't have it anymore, but I bought that. I remember it.
Wow, you remember having it?
I remember having it. Wow. But I do know that they did not pick J Dilla's, but I do know to this day, and I've gone back and listened to him before, that I thought personally that the J Diddle remix and another one were better than the actual beat, even though that beat's fire. You know what I'm saying? So,
wow. So right there, you get exposed to this thing called hip hop for the first time.
Yeah.
You're loving it. I'm thinking, okay, going back to because the name, I'm not sure if this is it. The name just hit in my head with the 80 group that you're probably talking about, Roger and Zap. We talking about them?
No, Zap, no.
Roger and Zap, Computer Love them. We talking about them? Jimmy and Terrell?
No. It was, we're talking like early 80s. We're talking like early 80s.
That's the only thing
and it's not
Roger
Moody Blues.
Not them.
Man, it's gonna beat me up.
Okay, that's all. It's part of my head. Like maybe he's talking about Roger and Zap. Okay, not them. Okay,
I can think of the song right now playing in my head.
It's probably gonna hit you as soon as we done this pod, right?
Man,
two dudes.
Man, anyways,
it'll come.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? Let's because we play music during the breaks of the podcast. Let's take a break here, Grant. Because I love the show. All my independent artists love on the podcast. I love to get your music played in rotation during the break. So if you are independent artists out there, send your music to clothtalk5@gmail.com. Once again, that is clothtalk5@gmail.com. Send your music so I can get you played on rotation on the pod. You don't have to be just from Columbus or from Philly, where I'm from. You can be wherever you're from. You're an independent artist, send that music going through. Before we go to this break, Grant, let the people know where they can connect with you at. Where they can follow you, tap in and follow everything that you got going on, and anything that you want to plug as we go to break here. Go ahead and plug away.
Yeah, no worries. If anybody wants to follow me or check me out or anything I do, Instagram is The Great Grant Gatsby.
Yeah.
Facebook, some people still use Facebook. I use both platforms, obviously, as a booking agent and A&R and all that. So it's just Grant Gatsby on Facebook, but The Grant Gatsby on IG.
Yeah.
Look me up there. Like I said, man, we got what we got coming up. Just had Master Killah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Copy and them.
That was fine.
Shout out to one of my mentors, Philly Phil from Dayton.
Okay.
We can get into that whenever if you want to, but he's one of my mentors. He's from Dayton.
Okay.
He's another booking agent. He started doing DJing and producing.
Nice.
Floppy disk. He's an old head, like generation before. But we got one of my favorite MCs ever in my whole entire career of hip hop that I've ever listened to. I love Kool Keith. Shout out to Kool Keith.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So we got him on tour.
Nice.
And he's going to be playing, and Philly called me to help out with the show and promote it because Dayton and Columbus are so close. They mix Cincy, Dayton, Columbus, Yellow Springs, Cincy. Everybody travels. So April 8th in Dayton at Blind Bob's, we got Kool Keith coming. So
that is going to be hell of a show. Nice. Hey, man, we on Club Talk Podcast. We just scratching the surface with Grant, man. We got plenty more we're going to talk about, man. We got plenty more we're going to talk about. If you fuck with the pod so far, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We'll be right back here. Don't go nowhere.
I feel it. I need someone to believe in. Don't want to know I need it, but I need someone to believe in. So why not believe in myself? I need someone to believe in. You know I need some healing. I need someone to believe in. So why not believe in myself?
Real Cleveland shit, nigga. Bolo. Yeah. She blessed me with the gift to make these words combine. Over sampling drums to keep your chakras aligned. I got these niggas shook when these bars and beats collide. I give these bitches goosebumps like I'm R.L. Stein. With these butterflows, some they RL in this prime, And I done outgrew the RL design, That's why when you see me, I'm in fear of God joggers. Celine crew necks, extra larges. YSL denim, but nothing too guarded. You see these fists, these niggas niggas ain't look goofy, that's ungodly. Talking about they ballin' when they snip like they unsullied. Why I'm in your town with a bad chick like Jordan Woods, unbothered. Cause the streets know I'm solid and the baddies know I'm polished. They can tell by my posture that I'm a top tier, top shotter. And I don't see that nigga as the factor. My hubris got me elevating over these rappers. Cause I eat what I kill like a raptor. Now you caught up in my rapture. When you rip off of that rapper, now you saying fuck it to your favorite rapper. Now they got my jersey in the Raptors, cause I got this rap game mastered. Green jacket, look, I know she exists, but I ain't no Christian or no atheist. But I can hear her telling me to go ape shit. On any beat I spit until that shit no longer exists. That's spiritual, nigga.
I feel it. I need something to believe in. Don't wanna know I need it, but I need something to believe in. So why not believe in myself? I need something to believe in. You know I need some healing. I need something to believe in. So why not believe in myself?
Yeah, we back right here on Club Talk Podcast. Great Gatsby is here. The man y'all love to hate. But
Apparently.
Right. But he's learned to say, hey, fuck y'all.
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. You gotta respectfully. You gotta be able to have broad, tough shoulders.
That's right.
In any form of the biz, but especially behind the scenes of anything arts and entertainment. You have to have broad shoulders, period, to be in arts and entertainment and to want to sell your craft or anything as an entrepreneur. But if you're behind the scenes, something like music where someone's on the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, even producers and DJs sometimes get the side swipe because they need the MC on the mic. You know what I mean? So
Yep, gotta have that thick skin.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the industry that you're in. Okay, so let's continue along your journey. Okay, so we cover your stumping grounds coming up, learning how to navigate this world. You're doing your artistic thing. You come across hip hop. Okay, so now take us to the point where you start to like, you know what, I want to get involved in this art form. Like, I'm really digging this hip hop shit, because when you come across hip hop, it's still in its infancy. It's still early, like we was talking about before. We're talking cassette tape era. So you are getting exposed to it as hip hop is in its birth and its infancy. So for you,
I think it's called the gold. I think the
golden era.
I think my generation was golden era. I think is kind of technically whatever. Mid 80s, late 90s. You know. Yeah.
So you're kind of like soaking it up as this.
I graduated in 98.
98. Okay, yeah. Okay. So you're like right there when the money's getting pumped into this art form. So at what point for you where you decide to, like, you know what, I want to get involved in this in some shape, form, or fashion? What was the first thing that you started dabbling into? Was it trying to be an MC first, a DJ, or booking parties, or hosting? Like, you know, my homie's a rapper. Let me get
yeah.
Like, how did you get your foot in the early stages? You know, that we'll kind of like go along.
Yeah, no, that's a great question.
Walk people through the journey.
I like I said, at first it was just, you know, loving music. I knew that I loved the music when I started listening to hip hop. Yeah. And I started, you know, and I got into high school, and Outkast is coming out, and Biggie and Tupac, and I mean Run DMC to LL Cool J coming into my generation. You know, you take the Rakim to the Biggie. The Most Defs.
You're right. That golden era.
I'm sitting there and I'm falling in love.
I would say it's everywhere.
And it's everywhere.
It's at its height.
And what I think the biggest thing for me was because you asked, how exactly did you ask it?
What was the first thing that you got involved in, like with the hip hop scene? Like, okay, I want to get involved in this art form somehow, somewhere. Yeah. How do I get my foot in this?
I've got to say that as I'm coming into myself, the music that is most relatable. And I'm growing up with, grunge era, the punk era, punk and hip hop came together, CBGB's New York. It all came from different poor areas. That's all it was. But for me,
rebellious kids, that's all they were.
So for me, right. So as I'm listening to music,
you're
dad's
relating
music,
to it.
Even the music that a lot of the individuals that I was around in high school or wherever, before I really got into college and got onto campus, the music that I was flowing to, the music that I was relating to the most was hip hop. Wow. Now, obviously, jazz and original soul, things that my dad listened to, funk, Ohio funk, the Ohio players.
That's right.
I learned all these things after high school as I started to love music and wanted to learn, and even the people that I was meeting in music that I was learning from records. But before all that went on, it was just me not knowing anything. I related to hip hop.
Wow.
And as high school was ending, and I was starting to get in trouble a little bit, and I graduated high school, and I was going to CCAD.
Okay.
I dropped out of a couple schools trying to figure out where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I moved from Columbus to Cincinnati. Oh, man, maybe that's the fucking answer. So then I moved from Columbus and I go to the Art Institute of Cincinnati. I dropped out of that too. I only went to 2 months of classes.
So we're in 1999, just so we're on the time frame.
2001.
2001. Okay.
So I actually was there when the race riots of 2001 happened in Cincy, and the Coast Guard got called.
Damn,
I was there.
You was there?
Me and one of my buddies.
Holy shit.
That didn't look like me, that we were friends with, who I started to build with hip hop and music, and just finding myself going to Top Cats. Back in the day, going to Top Cats. Shout out to Top Cats.
Wow.
We got jumped by 2 police officers of opposite looking atmospheres.
Wow.
Him a guy like me a guy like him. And we got jumped in an alley because we were together.
Damn. What the fuck?
So that shit was real, and that was real to me, but it even made me angrier. Because I was like, what the fuck is this about? I'm just loving music. I'm just loving arts. Cincinnati, the art, we try to call Columbus art town and stuff. And
which it is.
Of course, there's plenty of art and music.
Absolutely.
But at the time, nothing like Cincinnati. To me personally.
It was jumping.
The atmosphere of hip hop. I remember going to the first record store, one of the record stores that's not there anymore on Cincinnati, right there where Cincinnati University is.
Wow.
Because everything's at that top of the hill. You know what I'm saying? You go down the hill, you go up the hill.
Queen Ave and all that.
Yeah. So you're getting $1 million, studio college house right next to a boarded up, corner hustling house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I go to this record store, and I'm not going to school, I'm not going to school. It's just not my thing. It was even art school, and I'm just not doing it.
Dropped out at that
I'm
point.
angry. I'm just, what's going on? But I started hanging out with hip hop kids and graffiti kids in Cincy. Shout out to Mr. Dibbs. Now, I never met Mr. Dibbs at the time. I never met Jay Rawls, who was with Lone Catalyst at the time down there, or Blueprint and Ill Poetic, who was all making music down there. But I go down there, and I went to the record shop, and I said, give me your best hip-hop that you got.
Wow.
I want the dopest hip-hop record that just came out, that you have.
Wow.
And this is what he hit me with, which is to this day my favorite MC in the world. Common Sense at the time, Like Water for Chocolate. I bought that record, I bought that compact disc probably 4 or 5 times minimal. I even bought it like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago just to have the disc again. And I listened to that, and I started going to Top Cats. And
so that became your go-to spot. Whenever you wanted records,
very. Remember, I left with the riots, so I was there.
Right,
I was there less than 2 years.
Right.
Maybe almost just a year.
Oh, wow.
But the time that I had there, even though there was dark times in my life that happened there, and that stuck around for a while, something finally, even though I was doing art and drawing flyers for all my shows, something came in, and I left 6 days before the Coast Guard came into Cincinnati.
Wow.
And I came back home, and there was also another reason I came back home. I actually, there's another story. I had a big kegger party, obviously, before I left, which had other crazy stories of insanity. But I basically blew up a dumpster, and yeah. So I singed off all the hair on my one side of my head. I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy. I'm not even lying.
What the fuck?
So my brother found out, and then my parents found out, and they said, "You coming home?"
What the fuck?
Swear to God. Swear to God.
Wow.
So
you are a motherfucker. God
so
damn.
I came home. So I had that record.
Jesus.
I came home, and at that time, once I came home, hip hop was starting to take over my passion and what I wanted to do. I wanted to listen to it. I wanted to be around it. I wanted to know who in my city. I started to become, a researcher and a learner and a student of hip hop.
You became obsessed.
I became fucking obsessed. And I was able to focus, and it was able to, and I started going to, they had the Sunday night hip hops at Bernie's.
Okay.
Right? Rest in peace, Prism. Rest in peace, Camuteo. Where all the circles,
they're all
of all the friends, before there was any fights, the schools, the 3RD, anybody, they were all coming there.
Wow.
Everybody that we know from the history. Besides what was a little bit before the 2000s, right? There wasn't a lot. There was. We know that. But that's where it was going. The break dancers were coming there. So I was watching breaking live. I was watching freestyling live. I was watching the DJs and the producers scratch and make and turn vinyl records into a musical instrument. And I was fucking sold.
DJ Posh 2 was there too, right?
Absolutely, he was there. Absolutely, he was there. I mean, we could sit here and shout out names for 3 hours.
Right. The who's
Blueprints and everybody. The who's who of everybody
Bernie's.
that what I call the core of Ohio hip hop, and especially Central Ohio and even the Midwest. Rhyme sayers, Def Jux. They were all these influencers and these artists, not influencers, these artists.
All right there.
Were all right there. Wow. And I started watching it, and Sunday nights, and then that turned into the Tuesday night So What Tuesdays or So What Wednesdays with Blueprint. And I was sold. And I knew from there, and then I go, like what you just said.
Yep.
That actually was literally what was going through my head. All right. I don't know about the break-in. Well, I tried it a little bit. I can I can dance in general. I can keep a rhythm, a beat. I can keep a rhythm and a beat.
Yep.
And so, but then I still was like, man, these guys are athletes. Even then, I'm talking to friends and family, telling them, no, break dancing is a sport. I've seen battle. You don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
So I'm watching that, but then I'm like, I don't know. I might have gotten a couple little circles, but then I see the DJ thing. I couldn't afford to get turntables and things like that, but I'm watching that. I'm watching the records. It's amazing and mesmerizing. The one thing I did get into was, and Rawls and Jeremiah and so many of my friends try to get me. I dabbled with writing a little bit. I never got into freestyling. Now, there might have been a couple very close friends I grew up with that we got drunk and stoned, and I might have tried to wrap in a hat in the back of the cat. You know what I'm saying? So I did, whatever. Okay. But I wrote a little bit, and I never was scared of the mic.
Clearly. If y'all listening so far,
Yeah.
man has no problem talking.
Yeah. And that wasn't like that in middle school to high school. That came after high school.
Ah, so
Came
you
after
got it.
Cincy. Yeah. So,
gotcha.
but even then, I would see these guys like Copy and Camus and these individuals, and I'm going, who the fuck am I about to try to start Brew Lee and all these people spitting?
Right.
Who the
Destroying.
fuck am I trying to come in and eat freestyle whatsoever? So I really didn't. But again, I'm like, something's missing. And then I started to think about things like, then I started to learn about them. I started to build with the MCs. I started to build with the rappers. I started to build with the producers. I started to build with the bands, the musicians. I started to build with, the guys coming up and the guys already doing it, or that was in their prime at the moment. So as I'm starting to befriend them and kind of I'm just like, okay, what's going on? What's missing? And all of a sudden, can't pinpoint the time, but around that time, because I started in 2004,
Right.
I know that there was a couple guys and friends that weren't necessarily in the hip hop scene of Columbus,
Okay.
but they were friend circles, party circles,
Gotcha.
and they started to freestyle in their basements and stuff like that, and which is where I came up with the name along with a couple other friends. We're all just kind of recording, rhyming into the mics, not really knowing how anything's going.
Yeah.
And I necessarily really didn't, but I started to fall in love with it even more.
Wow.
And then I started to go to these shows. I started to find out who's J. Rawls, who's Blueprint, who's Illogic, who's Copyright, who's RJD2. And I'm like, Mixed Master Ice. And I'm like, I want to go watch them. So next thing you know, I'm going to the Bernie shows. I'm seeing this live culture that has enthralled who I am, and I'm going, so then I'm start going, okay, well, I want to help. I want to be involved. I want to try to help these men. And what transcribed or ended up happening, I'd like to say maybe just through the teaching and communicator aspect of my life and my parents and how I kind of was, and I'm friends with everybody.
Right.
What I saw, and this kind of goes back to the things that you wanted to get into.
Yeah.
I saw clickiness. Yeah. And what I saw was no one working with each other. Now, part of me also saw that there are many reasons.
Okay.
But one of the things that I saw very quickly was there just wasn't somebody, just not a body doing that. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't managers. I know that there were some managers
Of course.
and some booking agents, but I didn't meet any of them. And if I did, they were either in the group originally, like Dommy Styles at one point was in a group, and then he kind of became a DJ and helped him manage. So there was a lot of in-group, in-crew helping with all
Playing
that.
both roles.
Rashad, shout out to Rashad III. He did a lot of the business. He was having record deals at 12, 13 years old.
Also artists and doing that too.
But I didn't know and start to see, well, where's the guys that love it, that want to help, that are focusing on the management and protecting? Because what I started to learn was,
There you go.
very quickly, obviously with my passion, I learned about the stealing and the shitty history with music and Elvis and James Brown and everything that we can get into, from blues all the way to jazz to the little songs that were recorded on the radios, and we don't need to go there. We know what's up.
Yep. Do your history.
But when I started to do that history and I started to learn and become passionate, I said, okay, well, where's those guys that did care? Like Hitsville and these. Where's these guys that are on the same level, that aren't? I'm not talking about the guys that are like, oh, I want to be a manager and work for a label. Well, I'm going to go move. No. Fuck them. Who's the guys that represent them, the artists? I could have gone. Anybody can go anywhere and try to become an A&R and work for some big company. Yeah. But no, fuck that. Who's representing them at the ground level?
I see what you're saying.
And I didn't see a lot. And next thing you know, I was like, okay, well, what does that mean, Grant? Like, what does that mean? Okay, you can't just go and manage somebody or okay, well, yeah, communication, building relationships, right? You got to gain trust. Well, what am I going to do? So the essence of everybody else's entertainment, the complete essence is two things. It's meant for everybody else's entertainment to provide entertainment for everybody else that wants to love it. And then at the same time, it's meant as a protection and a friendship or a family atmosphere to connect with the artists trying to get out in any shape, way, or form, no matter what the business is, to protect them while I'm booking. And then while I book and I do these events and curate, what's not a better way to bring Mr. Def Jam guy and big guy over here to come meet these guys trying to make it? How do I collaborate people? How do I connect these people?
And you're right, because like you're saying, like around that time, how you were talking about how the industry is, let's just be honest, the music industry is predatory. There's, like you're saying, there's no one protecting the interests of the artist, and you seen that void, and he was like, they're up there they're just expressing themselves, but there's no one that's protecting the interests of the artist. And unfortunately, a lot of times artists get fucked. They signing these fucked up deals. They're just like, yo, I'm just dope at rapping. And here come the guy in the suit and tie. Hey, sign this, Mr. MC. Sign your fucking life away. Guys that like you that come in like, whoa. Let's slow down. What you're doing is dope, but we need to protect what you guys are doing. And you recognize that. You're like, I can fit it in that way.
Absolutely.
Was it tough because one thing I learned about artists, especially rappers, they can let their egos get in the way of a lot of shit. Was it tough for them to like get them to accept you at first? They're like, you gotta get out of here, man.
Oh, absolutely. No.
You had to keep coming like to prove yourself. Like, get out of here. Do you rap? No. Do you? Get the fuck out of here, then.
J. Rawls was an example. J. Rawls was an example of someone who is very open to people. He's friends with a lot of different atmospheres of individuals and musicians, and as you can clearly tell who he is. But he was the guy who listened to what I had to say and at least took the time and said, okay, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, and the next step is stop talking. And he told me, stop talking about it, now I want to hear it, now I want to see it. Words to action. So he taught me that. But he was open to listen to me.
So was he the first one to like actually like take you seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
As far as not locals coming up.
Gotcha.
Okay, guys that were trying to come in the industry that didn't necessarily have records being sold on shelves or anything of that nature, like true coming up artist locals. He's not. He wasn't even then. But he was one of the first. He was the first individual that did have credibility and status. I mean, producer for, Mos Def and Talib Kweli. He was the first individual that saw my excitement and passion and said, man, this guy's been around a bunch. I don't know what was going through his head exactly, but he trusted me. And the first signed act or large act that I ever booked was for Stone's Throw Records. And I booked Guilty Simpson.
Detroit.
At Scully's. And he was the one that got me into contact with him. I wrote out my first, thing, the whole deal.
Wow, let me ask you this. That's fascinating. So here you are, this kid at this point, like you said, you try the Cincinnati school thing out. That shit goes fucking left. You come back to Columbus, and at this time, you're fully immersed, obsessed with this hip hop shit. You get immersed in going to these shows. You're mingling around. You're hanging around. You're.
I'm going to everything I can go to. I'm going to everything.
Wherever flyer come out, you're like, I'm there. And you're attached to this shit like a hand on the glove. And you like, you know what? I want to get involved in this. here is DJ Ross, and he gives you a responsibility or quote unquote like an assignment, kind of like testing to see if he really is kind of like serious about this shit, because the guy he's every fucking where. You're kind of like a pest that won't go away, like, get away, man. And you're like, yo, I want, hey.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, fine, kid, fine.
Yeah, I was just so excited. I was like, man, I got to get involved in something. I got to do something.
Yeah, you're like a net that won't go away. You're like, all right, let me give this guy an assignment. You take that and you're like, yo, he listened to me. I got to show and prove.
Yep.
Because here's my shot.
Yep.
I got to deliver on this shit.
Yep.
You deliver. For you, was there a point where you felt like I'm accepted now, I arrived, I gained the trust, or was it still like it's still an uphill battle?
Let me tell you, it goes back to the first question into this question.
Go ahead.
So there are still, to this day,
damn,
okay, doesn't mean I can prove or pinpoint it.
Gotcha.
But there are still individuals to this day that I would even consider that were music friends and industry friends, and I've broken bread with them and they've broken bread with me.
Yeah.
And to this day, there are still some that I've known over 20 years that still, at the end of the day, if I rapped and I wanted to do a song with you and you rapped, you're gonna be like, oh, you're a rapper, you're cool, let me check it out. Cool. Hey, I'm a manager, I want you to work with this guy that I manage. I gotcha. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll hit you up.
Still to this day, it's like that.
I'm using, that's a random example that I'm pulling, but the atmosphere of what I'm trying to explain is that even to this day, there's individuals I know that just, they know me, they're respectable. I definitely think that they care and work with me, but I'm not a performing artist on the stage.
Right.
So because I'm not, sometimes there's this wall between us. Now, back to what you said, there's a lot of artists that have definitely gained my trust. And over the years through Rawls, Blueprint, Copyright, Mix Master Ice, Illogic, RJD2, C10 and all his group and his teams, Coast City, the Third, all their teams. They were some of the first local legends that were beyond local. Yeah. Kind of like the RJs and those groups too.
Yeah, Veda.
Veda and all them. Jay Swift, shout out to Jay Swift. Even to this day, some guys still kind of, what's up, man? What's up? And just kind of say what's up to me. And then other guys, hey, yo, Grant, what's up? Yeah. So I think that there's a lot of reasonings for that, but it did take a while. Wow. It took a long time because I had to gain these artists' trust that I'm not just, ready? I had to prove, here we go, that I wasn't a jankety promoter, which is why I fucking hate that term, because I'm not a promoter. Yeah. I'm an A&R. I'm a manager. Yeah. I work with you. Yeah. So I had to prove to these guys and to a lot of people, a lot of artists, that I was similar in the ways like them, that I was a creative myself. Yeah. And I'm trying to look out for their best interest.
Right. I want y'all to win. I'm not here to fuck you.
Dude, I'm going to give one of my boys a shout out. Go ahead. I love him today. Love him to fucking death. I love you, Jack. I love you. Even Jack.
Hey, you.
Okay? I had a badge in 2017, 2018, 2 years in a row. I told you, went to A3C before it got shut down. Yeah. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
We're out in the back. I'm going to tell the story, Jack. I don't care. C10 and his collective and Jack came to Atlanta with us for A3C on one of those years. And I was getting Jack high. Dabs weren't even a thing yet, right? I was getting Jack high as fuck, right? So we're all getting high as hell. C10, he's worried. He's looking at me like, Grant, what'd you do to Jack? Where the hell Jack go? It's a crazy story. I'll let Jack tell you sometimes. It's funny as hell. But Jack, when we got back from the trip, at some point, me and Jack had a conversation, and he straight up was honest with me and said, Grant, I never trusted you up until that point. Now, not like I didn't trust you at all. We had broken bread together.
Of course.
I had booked shows with this man.
But at an arm's length. I keep him at an arm's length.
But it was still kind of like that. I don't know if this is the right way. He can correct me. I don't know if this is the right way to say it. But it was, my feelings of it is kind of like, you know, just someone there that does what they do, but because they're not on stage, how close can I really get, especially with the history and everything.
Right, that too.
So it is. I've been told that. Wow. But Jack was honest with me. I mean, he even talked about that.
Wow, really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wow.
But he was honest with me, and he goes, it wasn't that he didn't trust me like he didn't want to work with me. I mean, obviously he worked with me, we hugged, we dapped it up, we broke bread, the whole thing for years.
Yeah.
But we didn't really become close friends or friends beyond just individuals in the industry until I took him to some other city. And it was crazy.
Wow.
And that's crazy to me because I'm sitting there looking at him like a friend in the industry.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because like it seems like with artists, they have a language of their own. Like they speak a certain language, artist to artist, that understand. And I think that they assume if you don't do what I do, you won't understand me. And they box people out. And it keeps, let's be real.
There's positives and there's negatives.
And that too. And it keeps growth from happening. Because if I'm an artist and I only just want to poly and link up with other artists, I'm only going to go but so far. There has to be an outside entity that sees the bigger picture that I'm not seeing. I can get busy in this booth 24/7, but there's another element that someone is seeing that I'm not seeing that can get this, what I'm doing, to that. And they like, because me and him, we understand rap.
Yeah.
Fuck you talking about? I just want to get on stage, and it just, I think it stifles and it blocks growth. But I wanted to piggyback off that. Have you dealt with like the whole here comes the white boy type of thing in the hip hop shit? Like, have you dealt with that shit? Like, another white guy in hip hop trying to take over our culture.
Well, I've never had that said to me
directly
in a negative way towards me.
Okay,
that I can remember.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's probably happened right behind my back.
Yeah.
And
but they won't say it to you.
And I've heard it or whatever, and that kind of maybe goes to the whole like, well, I hate swinging a hammer, but I need the hammer for this nail.
Yeah.
If that's a weird example, whatever. But I definitely, when I got involved and started immediately in the beginning, 2004 in the beginning, I wasn't thinking about it. I was just passionate.
Right. I just love it.
Yeah. Then a couple years go by and, you're approaching people for tours. You're approaching people to be on shows. You're approaching people to help them with certain projects or connect other individuals in the city or what have you. Yeah. I never asked the question because, I never asked the question because it doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
At the end of the day, I know who I am and what I'm doing.
Right.
I know the people that I'm trying to work with. If I do hear something, and there has been a couple instances in the past where maybe I not necessarily heard something, but got a clear vibe otherwise that this person doesn't like you or doesn't trust you. Yeah. And after a couple times, you know what? Cool. I don't know for sure, but what does asking matter? It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And I knew, and I'm aware of my privilege. I'm aware of where I came from, and I'm aware of my history and who I am. So immediately that I could, at the same time that I was starting to be like, what's this? Well, kind of these weird vibrations. I also was like, yeah, well, what are you going to do? Jay Rawls just talked to me. Some of the Mixed Master Ice, some of these other guys. Yeah. So you know what? If I just keep on the pattern and stick to who I am, that's the best way that I could be.
Yeah, I got to tune out the noise. The whole white boy hip hop thing.
Now, obviously, as the years go on and I'm going into my 10-year anniversary and moving on, there's, you know, if I hear things or if the topic is brought up, immediately I'm like, oh man, you know what? Yes, that's a true thing, but you know, I am who I am, and we gotta move on with it. There was Royce the 5'9", Prime, the first album with DJ Premier,
Royce,
which is an immaculate album.
Love you.
I'm pretty sure it was off that album. There's a skit with Eminem.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? And there's a skit with Eminem, and they're talking about what Royce did was record. They were recording because they're friends.
Yeah.
And he's recording Eminem talking about racism and being white in hip hop.
Yeah.
And Eminem kind of does the same thing. He avoids any kind of details, and he goes, look, man, this is what he said. He said, like the first part of it was him understanding the stealing and the history of music, talking about Elvis and stuff, okay?
Yes.
So the first part is him recognizing that.
Yep.
But then right after he recognizes that, he goes, okay, so that's the history, that's the real, that's what it is. Okay, now you move forward. You're born with who you are. You're born how you are. You don't have a choice of who you're born and how you're born into this world.
Right.
The only thing that matters is, and he says it at the very end, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do? No matter what the history, what anything shows, you're born with how you're born.
Yeah.
So if you come into this world, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
No matter what side of anything that it is, you recognize and you're aware, right? The history, the learning, the research. Yeah. Okay, that's done now.
Yep.
Well, what's there left? Well, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah. Right. It's in your hands now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and you chased it. So it's like you wanted this, you signed up for it. So now it's like, okay, what you going to do with it, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like it makes me think about like, okay, like you do your due diligence. Like if you're coming into a culture that's not of your own, let's say if for example I was going to like, I don't know, Mexican culture, I look at this Mexican culture, I'm like, man, that shit's pretty cool over there. Hey, let me mosey on around and see what's going on, poking around, like, and then I just like, oh shit, I love this shit. Yeah. And I do my due diligence, I do my history, I find out who the pivotal people are in this Mexican culture, I figure out what's what I need to know, yada yada, and I start, you know, congregating and immerse myself into the culture, going to the shows, going to this, going to that. And they're probably looking at me like, oh, what do you know? What do you know about my Mexican culture, there, fella?
let me throw a weird
it
stigma.
Seems like, what is he doing over here?
Yeah. Here's an example.
It looks suspicious.
I don't know where I heard this from. I don't know where I saw this from. And I don't know where I watched this from. I have no clue where it came from. But here's an example. Here's the example I use.
Yes.
Would anybody ever rather you are completely multi-diverse musician for 45 years, or you're a 25-year-old passionate fan of music that's learning and collecting records? Would anybody ever question any DJ around the entire world or producer? Would anybody ever question a DJ or producer? You know what? I'm on a Spanish American music phase. Awesome. Salsa, awesome.
Right.
Would you ever question the musician himself wanting to gain, learn, research, and be involved in a culture of any type of music to play it? No, you wouldn't.
You're cooking, Grant. You're cooking. You cooking right now.
But the second that you go away from the microphone or the turntables and you're an individual behind the scenes having the same passion, it's looked at completely different.
You cooked that. Right.
It's crazy. It's just, it's always been interesting.
That is, man, you couldn't say that any better. Wow. Okay, we're going to go into this, then we're going to go into a break. We're going to play some music. Artists, if you're out there listening, call talk5@gmail.com. I want to play y'all during the breaks. I want to play your records, man. That's why I created this platform, to show all the artists out there on your grind who you think people aren't listening, man, yo, send that over. calltalk5@gmail.com. We'll hit this topic, then we're going to go into that break.
All right.
The clickishness in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh shit. Man, y'all be acting like little kids, man.
I'm gonna just say this and I'm gonna let you go. Grant, I'll be honest, like I said, I'm a motherfucker from Philly, the city dubbed as brotherly love.
Yeah.
I do not.
And you don't, so you're telling me
Yeah.
that you don't see that same cliquishness in Philly that you do in C-Bus.
No. Hell
That's crazy.
no. This shit is
Because let me say this in general to everybody. I have seen similarities of things in the world in general.
Yeah.
Touring and going to other cities and locations.
Of course.
So sometimes people from cities that don't get out of cities like to say that nobody's like them, when in reality when you get out you learn
everyone's
that,
the same.
yeah, it's kind of like that. But
it's different.
There is
it is
being on tour, even Dayton and Cincy.
Same shit. They're
And No, I'm saying even Dayton and Cincy and Cleveland.
Yeah.
The atmospheres in hip hop in general is completely different. There is.
I don't understand it.
There is something here, man. I don't understand it because it's complete bullshit. Because all it is holding you back.
Yeah, because like
crazy.
When I look at it, how did
this guy never? I remember like getting into hip hop.
Yeah.
You don't have a record with this. How? Wait, what? How is y'all never had a record together?
That's the same shit I'll come across. I'll tell you this, man. Like, I remember when first started having like MCs and rappers and singers and all, people who do music on the pod, and I would bring up certain other artists that I've had on the pod, and I'm like, yeah, I had I don't know, we'll just say a rapper. I had John Sprees on the show, and we talked about X, Y, and Z, and he said the same thing as that you said. You ever heard of John Sprees? He like, and the face is just like, I'm like, he is right in the same side of town you're on, and he does what you do. You never heard of him? They're like, no, how long he be rapping? 15 years. And it's crazy that people in this city, and I don't want people to be waiting outside of my house. I'm not trying to like shit on Columbus, but it baffles me that people just stay in a circle of friends, and that's it.
Here's what, like,
you
gave me a little bit of insight.
Go ahead.
Not necessarily insight, but
this is nothing new to you.
You used a good example, yes.
Yeah.
You said it. What did I do? Okay, I wanted to get out there. Oh, well, who's these guys? Okay, well, yeah, maybe you don't like this style compared to this style, or maybe you like this style of paintings, but not this style of paintings. And there's all kinds of stuff, and we like what we do. Well, I like to stick to this format, or I like this. But regardless of any of that, even individuals at the top tier who have all still experienced and spread out to other forms of creativeness in what they do. So what I've noticed, back to what you just said, the biggest thing that I've noticed is, at one instance, how have you not heard of him? But then on the other senses, I could say to this one guy, how have you not gone to all these... I mean, dude, I'm not even a rapper and I did it. I'm not even making music, and I was able to build with all the different fucking levels and sides of things.
I know all of y'all, but y'all don't know each other.
How's that possible? Well, it's because you all just stick there, and you don't want to build with other individuals and go out to these guys' shows or these guys' shows or shows in general and learn who. Well, wait a minute, you know him, and I'm telling you, that's what I see.
Yeah, and I said this before. It's like, because like you said, like being an outsider looking in, and I get to see like a bird's eye view of it because it's not my city. And when I sit down with these artists, it blows my mind. But it's just like, yo, if these guys all linked up and worked with each other, do you know the landscape can change overnight like this in this city?
So, no, overnight.
It would literally do that.
As you were just talking, I didn't think of this.
I believe that
when I started.
Go ahead.
But right now, as we're talking about it,
Yes.
I didn't think of this when I was doing what I was doing. I was just doing it.
Yeah.
To bring people together. But I didn't know that what I was doing was this idea. And I even remember in my head going, okay, the first 5 years of shows, the first 5 to 10 years of shows was all multi-genre all the time. I did a show called Monthly Music Showcase at Scarlet and Gray Cafe, and then it moved to Scully's.
Nice.
And what I did was take DJs, folk artists, rock and roll bands, country artists. I took all of the different forms of music.
Wow.
And all tried to put them together into a showcase.
Wow.
So that they're all meeting each other.
Yes.
That was the whole point
Put
of
them all
what
in
I
one
did.
room together.
Absolutely.
Wow. That is magnificent. Was the outcome what you wanted it to be?
So
Or were they kind of
looking
get on
back-
their stage and do the thing and I'm out?
Well, I
Like,
mean,
damn, talk to each other. What the fuck?
people are always going to do that,
Okay.
and that's another separate topic.
Yeah.
That people show up, they do
and they
they're
out.
little local, they want to show, they're angry at everybody, then they show up, 5 people show up, they do their thing, and they leave, and they rap on their own lyrics. So it's just like, get the fuck out of here, man. But you always want to give respect,
Of course.
But that's how that part of that clickiness comes from not wanting to just open up and build with others in your community and what you're doing.
Man.
Straight up. And that's why I did what I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to force, I said,
I'm going to force you by the
Grant's
force.
rebel shit. Fuck you and fuck you. You're going to work together. I'm going to put you on stage.
Whether you like it or not.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to do that. Like you said, like, there has to be an outside party, and it's important that that party is non-biased. That that outside party has to be objective and see that bigger picture. Because like you seen, he's like, you know what? I'm going to create this showcase, and I'm going to mix it up. I'm just going to mix it up and force y'all to be in a room together. What are you going to do then?
Yeah.
Y'all there. Now
Yeah.
what? Now what?
Absolutely.
No, look at him.
Yeah.
Shake his hand.
No,
Say what's up.
You have to borrow his drum. You have to borrow his
Yeah.
microphone. You
Y'all-
have to talk
Y'all
together.
have to talk to each other. Yeah, and it sucks that a city like this that has so much powerhouses of talent, man, that they're like just stay in their own little circle and bubble, and they're like hermits. It's just like, man, if you got on a record with him, oh my god,
oh my god, oh
like,
my
you can
god.
hear it.
You're like, how
How y'all
is this not
never
possible?
get on the?
I mean, and then I'm a fan too.
Right.
So I'm learning all these circles and groups, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I learned from you that you were going to BHB's Hip Hop Expo for 7 fucking years, and you're going to tell me that you're well aware of all these individuals, and none of you all have ever worked. So what is it then? Well, is it that whole caveman shit of fuck you over? You're over on that side of the woods, so fuck you. You're not me over here. Is it literally as simple-minded as that, or what the fuck is it?
It seems like it.
Now, my dad, when I was younger, this goes beyond music. This is just success and growing and becoming older and becoming who you are and want to be.
Yeah.
And he would talk about oh, what was I just getting at? He was saying, you know, to come into your form, you know, you've gotta ask questions and see what's going on in another place.
Absolutely.
And see who's where. You want to know, what are you doing and who are these people? And it doesn't mean that you have to. I mean, my dad, he had an offer to become a skyscraper architect.
Shit.
In New York City.
Holy shit.
Right out of college. He didn't take it.
He turned that down.
He turned it down. And the reason he
Wow.
he has integrity, though. Because you see what I'm saying? What am I getting at? Not everything is just that single or that big check.
Yeah.
He had family here.
That's right.
And his art of doing churches was and residential was more important to him than being a number on the 44th story of some building.
Wow. A man of principle. Principle man.
And that's what
Yeah. Wow. Man. This is good
and
stuff.
and the other thing was fear.
Fear.
he said that man's biggest emotion and man's biggest thing that we have as human beings that are in our control, that set us back is fear of success. The best guitarist you're never going to know of. The best rapper you're never going to hear of, because they're in their basement or their studio recording and making music, but they don't want to get it out there and take the time, energy, effort, and finances to do it.
Wow. Fear of success.
Fear of success.
Man.
We all struggle with it. I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. We all have that. You're right. Man. We breaking it down, Grant.
2 + 2 = 4, baby.
That's right. Let's take a break here, Grant. We're going to play some music. Once again, Grant, go ahead. Let them know where they can find you, where they can tap in with you, get involved in everything that you got going on. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about, everything, all these titles. that
titles or any stories you want to, some crazy tour stories. I can tell you some stories.
We can do some tour stories. All these things that you've done. We're gonna go behind the scenes on like what it's like booking artists, putting on the show, dealing with the diva attitude. And shit.
Oh man,
some tour stories, and we're gonna go into a little bit more. Then we'll wrap up from there. But go ahead and plug away, Grant. Let the people know where they can connect with you.
Yeah, man.
And all that good stuff.
Grant Gatsby of Everybody Else's Entertainment. I do booking, management, A&R work, design, touring.
Woo.
And you can find me on Instagram at the Great Grant Gatsby.
Yeah.
And Facebook Grant Gatsby. It comes from even my favorite book was the Great Gatsby.
I figured that's what it was.
And how he...
I kind of figured that's what it was.
How he kind of stayed behind the scenes, right? He's behind the scenes. How many people knew who he was?
I kind of assumed that's what you got.
And he just wanted to bring people together.
Absolutely. I kind of figured that's what it was.
Yeah,
got it from the Great Grant Gatsby.
That's right.
All right, man. We're going to take this break. We're going to be right back with the Great Grant Gatsby. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Blue dream by the pound. Pitching, I'm curving them batters. Young Cuban on the mound. Rest in peace, Jose Fernandez. Y'all better show me some manners, or y'all gon' go broke like you hammer. I'll come and tax every bag up you fucking re-up at the palace. I'll be with Sarah. I don't fuck up with mascara. We might just get flying Sarah and get rich, but don't worry. And heck is jumping, no hurry. We don't look forward to marriage. We just more into them carrots. Condos in Paris. One text and all of them problems are vanished. Opposite side of me where you don't wanna be. Come through with some old heads that'll show where you gonna be. Trust me, you triple OG is a son of me. Free of charge, it was fun of me. You know if the tribe is involved, I'm putting bodies in morgues. I punch a kangaroo in the face. Don't be fucking with my dogs. Niggas coming for what's in the safe. Niggas leaving with a loss. Fuck niggas gon' stay dry. Take my energy, you tried. Double R, didn't wake up. Swear the same night I cried. Everyone want a piece of the pie. Like a throwback, easy and not. Life is a bitch, then you die. Life is a bitch. I know the tricks of the trade. I got some licks to get paid. Know I'ma flip every day, whether legit or it's not. OT punching the clock, potent and fresh out the pie. Spend your whole life trying to get by. Life is a bitch and you die.
See him running up the comments, but that don't mean that you prospered. All that money don't mean nada. Fast whips and designer. Yeah, I know you got a lot of, but you lacking all the knowledge. I don't wanna sound conscious, rather jump in the mosh pit. That's how I feel right now. Let's keep it real right now. No, we the lobbyists. Fuck all the nonsense. Get the profit, and for them dollars we gon' off them. 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 Nigga, for them dollars we gon' off them. For them dollars we gon' off them. Know we the lobbyists. Know that we shining. I know that you know that we grinding. And don't care who watching. We don't care who watching. We don't care who watches. Let them bitch niggas watch us. Put them niggas in the coffin. Put them niggas in the coffin. I will motherfucking off.
Been getting it. The planet is mine, yo, I'm wrecking shit. They said that this life is a bitch, I'm demanding it. Fucking, you know I'm not settling. Vagabond, I keep it calm when mama karma coming knocking at the door. You know I'ma be there, prepared for whatever. You reap what you sow. Life is whatever you make it. Told if you want it, you gotta go take it. I've been so distracted, I'm back in rotation. My back on the wall, so I'm going out blazing whatever it takes. Bang, bang, bang. Get down on the floor. They trying to kill us all. Motherfuck your laws. I said bang, bang, bang. What you shooting for? Why you trying to go and take us out? My life worth as much as yours.
Why they killing off the fucking animals? Why they acting like some fucking cannibals? All my life I've been searching for antidotes. Living up so twisted, trying to feed a slide instead of some niggas in the street got no food to eat, shoes on their feet. Man, put on the beat, I'm about to grab a seat, tune in the frequency. Some folks blind to see, better just guard your cheek. Ignorant or the deaf, sometimes I feel and know that I'm blessed. Life's a game of chess, better just try your best. Finesse, clear your stress. We all bleed in blood and we made of flesh. Each day's a test, up and more and less. Open up the lens, love all your friends you keep close. Smoke some weed, cups up, give a toast. Take some more hits than I am ghost. Heading straight towards the Astros. None of this cash rules, hearts in the passion. Then beyond fashion, souls keep on crashing. Self-destruction, I know it just happens.
Yeah, we back right here on Club Talk Podcast. I just got an exclusive behind-the-scenes story that only the great Grant Gatsby can tell. All I'm just gonna say is, Catalyst, you mind coming on the show, brother?
Yeah. Look, you get him some eggnog to chug, and he'll come out and spit for days.
Good old eggnog, that'll do it. Get him out of his cocoon nest.
Yeah.
All right, okay. We're gonna hit on some few topics that we're gonna close this out and wrap it up. This has been a dope discussion. Let's talk about before we get into some tour stories and dealing with artists and taking us behind the scenes about how booking shows and building the show and all that stuff. Let's talk about your company. What's the name of your company again?
Everybody Else's Entertainment.
Everybody Else's Entertainment. So when did you start this, and give us the kind of like your mind frame, like, you know what, I want to start this company for X, Y, and Z reason. Take us, through the thought process on starting this.
Well, like I said, it kind of started with some friends that I grew up with or I was close to that had some other friends in the North Columbus area, and we were just getting stoned and drinking and freestyling and making one person's making beats, one person's DJing, one person's freestyling. So it all kind of came from that atmosphere and
organic place.
That entity. Yeah. And again, I came into it, started hanging out with them, and then started to build, like the story I was telling you about, and meeting Sunday night hip hops at Cafe Bourbon Street and all these different things, and kind of coming all together in those years. Yeah. And it really just kind of formed, like I was saying, it kind of formed through my love of hip hop in the past with my dad. Yeah. But it just kind of happened. I got so excited that I was just excited, like I was saying, about bringing people together.
Yeah. Man, you really love this hip hop shit, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it really...
It's almost like you love it more than the people that are in it love it themselves. Like, you love it more than they do.
Okay. I've literally been told by Rawls and a couple people, man, Grant, if you had that, if you took 10% of that energy and that passion and put it into my artist or my producer or my MC or somebody, or you had
some type of
a little bit of, or if you had a little bit more passion to rap, because like I said, there's some.
Yeah, you wrote a little bit.
I probably could make a dad record, But anyways, but if you, I've been told, like, if you took that little bit and put it into somebody, where they would be. But then what I do is I would hear about that and I'd be like, okay, well, I can't do that. It's not real life. Right. But what I can do is give my passion, time, and vibe and energy to somebody,
right,
as best as I can. That's all I did was try to spread it.
Yeah. But I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Everybody Else is Entertainment. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so you and your homeboys kicking it, y'all getting drunk, shit facing shit.
Give a shout out to I'll give a shout out to a main one here.
Yes.
Sweet Pete Peterman, aka Sleepy Baby.
What name? Was he MC? DJ?
So here's the funny thing. In my circle, before I was getting involved in the circles of hip hop in the family in town, and I was going to shows by myself, even some of my friends who loved hip hop that I was talking about, they loved it, but they didn't love it so much they wanted to come to all the shows I did and come to campus and all that. I wanted to be in it. Yeah. I wanted to be in the industry of music and entertainment somehow. Yeah. So I would go, and what I'm saying is, even my friend, they would have the energy, but it's a party atmosphere.
Gotcha.
We know it never transpired to becoming a DJ, but I have my one still close to friends to this day. Goes by Sweet Pete.
Yeah.
And Sweet Pete was okay. So I'm watching all the things I'm watching in the real world of Columbus hip hop, but then I'm going back to my group of friends, and we're partying and smoking and drinking and stuff. But we're loving hip hop too, and we're relating to hip hop and records and stuff like that, and seeing MTV Raps and all this stuff. So in my circle of friends, I didn't necessarily have somebody that was like a super MC that was going to be that wanted to carry it on.
Okay.
But my buddy Brett, he was very intelligent, computer guy. He's a tech guy to this day.
Okay.
And so he was into different forms of music and records and things of that nature, and we were all getting into hip hop.
Yeah.
Well, here's what this is. Okay. In the late 90s and early 2000s, as we know, sound bombing and awkward, nerdy hip hop started to come into the world. I'm not saying that Mos Def was nerdy hip hop. I'm just saying the awkward, super lyrical, super wordy, deep conscious MCs. Yep. It was going from, rapping the back in the hat and the cat, guns blazing cool. Yeah. Now, sound bombing, Talib Kweli,
there you go.
The imprint of rhyme sayers, the underground yet not so underground world of hip hop and rhyming started to come in. Well, for me and my friends, that's the styles we was into. We wanted the real MCs and the bar heavy dudes. Yeah. So my buddy Sweet Pete, he in no shape or form my entire life did anything musical until all of a sudden we're at these parties. And all of a sudden, I attribute it to one thing. And he wasn't trying to learn thousands of word plays and metaphors, but his, and this is my opinion, his book smart brain, the way that his brain worked and remembered and shot off was just like those of Eminem and some of these freestylers, to where he had a very large vocabulary, right? Extremely large.
You know all these words and shit.
He was able to pull all these words, bro. Now you imagine Sweet Pete, baby. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you, and I'm not just talking rap in the back and the hat and the cat. I'm not.
He's going off.
I'm telling you, he's doing the same thing that MCs are doing. Yes. He's creating stories, pulling words and metaphors, mixing what was at the beginning of his freestyle to pulling it together at the end. And so he's doing this at these parties.
I love it.
As we're going to Otterbein and Campus and all these parties. And so it became a thing. We're just like, Sweet Pete, rap. Well, he'd be like, y'all get me a blunt and a 40, son. So as long as we hooked him up,
he's off and running.
He's off and running, man.
Shout out to Sweet Pete. That's dope. So
he has, to this day, he had one song recorded. He had one song recorded. And is the only one I recorded. I think I still have the compact disc with it. Oh wow! He had one song recorded, and how did he say it? He goes, rap. He was like, I'm sorry. He goes, I don't mean to brag or boast, but rapping without me is like jam without toast, land without a coast. Or no, he goes, or the edge of a land without a damn coast. So this was when we were like 21 years old. And he's freestyling, and then when he did write, he's putting some of these bars together. And I'm just like, we tried to get him so bad, and he just wouldn't do it.
Oh, shout out to Sweet Pete. That's amazing. Oh, so with Everybody Else's Entertainment, do you have to say know a lot to artists? Because you telling me behind the scenes, you know, like people come up to me to these shows when I'm out and about. Hey, I'm a rapper. I do this, and you put the ball in their court.
Yep.
And that's going to tell me if you're serious or not. Like, how is it dealing with that? Like, just being bombarded with, you know, like, I know I'm going to get approached so many times today because we got this big show. All these MCs going to be here. I know the flood is coming. How do you deal with that and filter out, like, give people your time because you got shit going on?
So,
because everybody's a fucking rapper today.
It's tough.
Okay.
If I'm running a show, if I'm at a show and I'm working my show and I'm working or I am hosting or all of the above,
right.
I don't have time, and I've always, whether it was when I was younger or now, I've always been as kind as I can, respectful as I can. I say, now, if I'm working, I will straight up sometimes be not like rude, but I'll be blunt and open and just say, hey man, I'm working right now. I appreciate it. And then that's when I go straight to what I say, and I go, look, here's my Instagram, here's this. If you're serious, I'll hear about you. And that's what I'll say. Yeah. I'll let them know that I am listening. I do care, but I'm busy. Yeah. Now, if I'm not busy, or if I'm not running a show or anything of that nature, or I'm not working, obviously I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed about it. But after a couple, like if I'm out with my girl, or if I'm out with a couple friends, and I'm nobody, but in the city of Columbus, and in my 20 years, I
would say your name rang bells. You know, you say your name, Grant Gatsby, like, oh,
my girl Annie always says, she goes, Grant, she's like, are you kidding me? She goes, all these people know you. Yeah. And I don't look for, I don't think about things, but I'm aware. Yeah. And so the best thing that I try to do is I just try to explain to artists. I try to listen for a second. Mm-hmm. I got you. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I got you. So I'll try to listen, give a little bit of time, and then I'll kind of say, and then if it lasts longer, there's only about 1 in 10 times that somebody will be like, okay, well, thanks, man. I'll take it easy. And I'm like, oh man, okay, cool. But most of the time, 99% of the time, it's lasting 5, 10 plus minutes, and I'm shaking my head, and they're real close talking and stuff like that, and I just try my best to kind of say. I listen for a second, and then after I give them a couple minutes or 5 minutes or so, and then I'll say, "Look, here's my information, here's my digits, whatever. Contact me. If you're serious, I will pay attention. If you're serious, I'll hear from you. If not, I won't. But I'm gonna go ahead, and then sometimes I'll do something like I got a drink, or I'm gonna go out here real quick, or somebody, Grant. I'm like, oh shit, cool. But it's a lot. It's a lot. Even my no girlfriend's ever been able to handle. Like I said, shout out to my girl Annie. She completely handles it completely fine. Wow. But. We go somewhere, especially if it's music. She'll be like, now, are you going to be able to hang out with me tonight or not? And I'll be like, I'm going to try, baby. I'm going to try, So. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. But I'm never rude. I know guys that are. Now, I also know guys that are, but they're also some levels above me. And they're in formats where they're directly working with guys like Snoop or things like that. Absolutely. Or whoever it is, but they're in a different position. So I can only imagine their positions and having to. Yeah. But at the same time, and I'm sure it's. I can't even imagine a top tier artist or a top venue owner or touring agent or manager. Manager like. Paul Rosenberg, and then all of a sudden Eminem gets big and it's Paul Rosenberg. I can't imagine.
Shit, man.
I cannot imagine. No wonder celebrities and people, even people that we don't even know the names of.
Right.
There are people that take my passion, Paz2's passion, and everybody combined, and there are heads that just know and follow everything. So, and we hear the stories. Yeah. How the hell did that? What? Right. But it happens. It happens. And so I just try to kind of give a little bit of respect and listening. Yeah. If I can, as best as I can. Yeah. And then I kind of go with my statement and say, okay, well, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So
would you say, like,
I definitely got haters because of it, though.
I'm about to say,
I have dudes to this day that show up to shows and will act nice to me to my face or whatever, but then they'll go and they'll talking shit online. Oh, this guy never booked me. Well, this is the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you too much. There's a sense of the entertainment industry, no matter if it's Guilty Simpson or Jay Rawls or a guy that just started to get a little bit of a circle in Columbus.
Yeah.
There's a certain way to be about people. I was never a fanboy. Am I a fanboy inside? Yeah, we all are.
Right.
But I learned from Rawls
there you go.
that in order to do business and conduct business with people, you can't fan out. It might be your passion and love.
Yeah.
So they're going to see that if you bell with somebody.
Yeah.
But initially, business-wise or whatever, like my position, especially my position, you can't do that.
Absolutely. You it just reminded me, you brought up your homie, your mentor from Dayton. I want to make sure we touch on him, your connection with him. So how did you meet him, and talk about some of the things the game that you soaked up from him?
So, man, shout out to Philly Phil.
Philly Phil
of Philly Phil Entertainment.
Yeah, how you connect with him?
So I connected with him through
pulling up at a show or something.
Yeah, again, going to a show. Now,
out and about.
I think we've talked about this before.
You and Philly Phil.
And trying to figure out where I first actually met him. Was it at a show? At Scully's? Was it at BHB's Ohio Hip Hop Expo? Did I go to Cincy or somewhere for an artist I wanted to see and then met him?
Y'all can't pinpoint it exactly.
The closest that we can get is that he was actually here in Columbus because why do you think he's my mentor? I'm observing this man coming from Dayton, going to Cincy, going to Dayton, going to Columbus, going to Cleveland. He knows the legends coming up, like the Blueprints and all of them. He knows the young ones. He knows Bootsy Collins and the funk guy.
He's in it.
He's in it, and he's an old dreadhead. You know what I'm saying? And his whole house is vinyl.
Wow.
His whole house is collectible posters.
OG, throwback.
Super OG. Dave Chappelle knows him. I mean, I'm telling you, he is a staple.
Yeah.
But he's behind the scenes, and he's not trying to be like Puffy all up in the videos. So
very low key.
Even less than me.
Wow.
So he was a DJ first.
Okay.
And a producer, and he was working with I'll give you something about him.
Right.
DJ Prism, rest in peace. He was so close with the family, Bruley and all them, that he to this day, he's the one that has the rights to sell his music.
Wow.
So all the old school Lab Tips vinyl, that Lab Tips spelled backwards is just Eyeball, which was their collective back in the day. He doesn't own it, but he has the rights to sell Prism's likeness and music because Prism wanted to keep the music and all that going. Wow. So that's how close that Philly was with these. So he's living in Dayton and he's managing and booking and going on tour and getting record deals for all these guys in town. They all know who Philly Phil is.
Wow.
Every fucking one of them.
Wow.
And so we just connected like friends and laughing and hugging and being cool dudes, and being a lover of hip hop. And next thing you know, I'm looking at him the way I'm looking at Rawls, and
soaking up the game.
He's inviting me to be involved in shows in Dayton, and the rest is history.
He soak up the game, man. Would you say he taught you pretty much a lot, everything that you know, the good portion?
Rawls,
between them two,
Rawls taught me the couple statements in stone, some of the rules to apply by, words to action, and put your money where your mouth is, and doing the correct business, and contacting the right people, and doing your research.
Yes.
That's what Rawls taught me.
Action.
Action.
Yes.
Philly taught me the blueprint of booking and curating and not just booking. But this guy and this guy, and then they both get on stage, and okay, it's done.
Right.
No, he taught me the curating part of it. Make it an experience. It's entertainment. Put these people together.
Yeah.
And that's all that's going to do is help the fans and the artists themselves.
Yes. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Philly Phil Entertainment is what it's called.
Philly Phil Entertainment. Woo! Okay. Give us one or two tour stories, Gary. You done been around. You like say you done did a roadie thing. You done set it up. You been behind the scenes dealing with the divas, the horror stories or shit with left fights. Groupie bitches.
I see some shit. We'll keep those ones. I was never a groupie guy.
You never
yeah.
took a little piece back to the hotel.
You know what?
I thought but respect to your lady, right? But back then,
I actually didn't. Look, I know no one's gonna believe me. Okay,
right, like,
no one's gonna believe
bullshit.
me. Look, the whole behind the scenes tour thing is not what the movies make.
It's overblown.
It's overhyped. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Fucking busload of bitches.
It doesn't mean that artists don't try to make it happen. Doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that groupies don't try to make it happen, but it's not how the movies are hyped up.
Chasing the bus and shit. Oh my god!
Because as soon as they're done on stage, chances are, if you're serious and you're doing your thing, they're gone.
Right.
So
give us one or two stories that you want to share. Yeah. And drop names.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
This was at such and such a show. We're backstage.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, man. Like, what kind
of a lot of coke before the stage?
Dude,
drugs is prevalent.
The drugs. Well, not sex. It's the drugs.
Drug use is more than sex.
That's the prevalent shit that I've seen.
Molly, ecstasy, weed, coke.
I seen a dude get on stage after taking some drugs and go from on point, amazing how they were supposed to be hired and what they're doing as an artist and MC to 10 minutes later not even being able to rhyme and speak on stage. Crazy.
Okay, go ahead, give us one or two stories.
Okay. I know some people have heard this story. Anybody that's watching that knows me, some people have heard this story before.
Okay.
But it's a very prominent story.
Okay.
And it pops up a lot.
Gotcha.
Ooh, shit. Maybe I should do the other one because that guy's name is at the top right now. Like at the top right now.
Oh, shit.
I mean, we got time for both?
Yeah.
So, I want to get to that one because everybody's listening. Not like us. I get it. He's a flag bearer. He deserves to be a flag bearer. Mm-hmm. He will go down in the top 10. We can sit here and argue top 10 in sports play. Kendrick Lamar will go down. He's in some people's top 5, some people's top 10. He will, I don't care who you are. Kendrick Lamar, mind, body, and soul, completely captures what hip hop is about 110%.
100%. Absolutely.
So, no, there's no disrespect, no hate. But we all start off somewhere. We all have certain things that happen. And my favorite group in the world is Wu-Tang. I love Wu-Tang.
Of course.
I don't know. Do you know what Wu-Tang stands for?
Wu-Tang? What, didn't they get this shit from the Kung Fu flicks?
The name Wu-Tang comes from the Kung Fu flicks.
Oh, you about the actual definition of
letters,
Wu-Tang.
they actually mean something.
Like acronym?
Witty, unpredictable, talent, and natural game. I would use that when I be on stage with the dead air. I do like question, like hip hop trivia and shit like that.
Anybody know?
Yeah.
So that's you right there, sir.
Okay, so
Wu-Tang story about to get.
So Wu-Tang story, Ghostface.
Give us the year. Set the scene up for us. What year are we talking?
We're talking.
This is
2010 era, 2008 to 2000. Yep, 2010, 2008 era.
Okay, gotcha.
I was involved in the show financially, but it was not completely my show.
Okay.
There were some other booking agents and individuals involved.
Okay.
And long story short, I was there the whole time by the sound man.
Gotcha.
It was just by the merch table, a bunch of places, but at the moment during sound check, that's where I happened to be.
Okay.
And the reason I was there is making sure that as Ghostface and his people are on stage sound checking, doing a proper sound check, which most artists don't do, but and he technically didn't even need to do. But so he's doing a proper sound check, and the sound man setting everything up.
Nice.
The sound man at the time is also still there and still works around town. He has 25 plus years experience.
Wow.
He knew what he was doing.
Nice.
He was sound checking it and had all the levels. I watched it. He took little pieces of tape by all the little levels to make sure that when Ghostface gets on stage,
everything's set.
All these are the way it is.
Good to go.
Went out without a hitch. Ghostface loved it. The band, everybody that was there, it was all the way it needed to be. Okay, so then Ghostface gets back up. Well, you're amped, you're hyped, your voice, your energy, you're sweating. You might, artists or somebody might be a little bit hyped. Maybe the microphone's a little bit closer. We all do these things.
Of course.
But for whatever,
you're in the moment.
But for whatever reason, Ghostface gets into a set. And he had 2 sets. It was like a full, I think it was like an hour. I think he took he did pretty much an hour and took a little break in the middle of it.
Shit.
Now, I don't actually know to this day if that break was planned or not, but
he takes a break.
There are many top tier artists that will, if they're doing long sets, we've seen them on concerts and they take a break.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
That's not the ordinary.
He's doing his first set. Towards the end of his first 20, let's just roughly call it for sake of argument, 20 to 30 minute part of the set. For the very first part, towards the very end of that, literally the last 5 or 10 minutes, he starts to get very upset at the sound.
Oh, shit.
Now, I do remember a little bit of static, but the static came because he was jumping and putting his whole body on the subs in the front of the stage. And even though I'm not a musician, I can tell you that that's not what you do with the microphone.
Yeah.
So he's doing that, and a little bit of static. Very quickly, the static got fixed. Why? Because the dude knows what he's doing. Well, as Ghost is getting more angry and upset.
Yes. Keep talking. My camera ran out of memory.
Oh, shit.
We're still going on that
we're still
camera
going?
now.
Okay, cool. So as soon as he starts getting angry, he becomes more angrier and angrier. And he starts to express this on the microphone during his show. So he's about to end his set and he's getting more angry and more upset because he thinks that the sound is getting worse. Well, what's actually happening is he's getting worse. Through his anger, he's getting worse performing. So he's making more mistakes, cupping the microphone, putting it by the speaker and the subs on the floor, putting the whole deal. So the sound man has to adjust to him because that's his job.
So Ghostface is fucking up.
So Ghostface is fucking up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's blaming the sound man, but the sound man has to adjust to what Ghostface is doing.
So the really, really bad and negative, scary part. As we all know, we do know how easily influenced people can be by celebrities.
Yes.
So it's a real thing with security and protecting artists and protecting people, but not just the artists, all of us as well, and the staff. Mm-hmm. So in the course of the last 90 seconds or so, the last 2 or 3 minutes, under 5 minutes of his first set, he is literally stopped performing. And he is now saying to the crowd, fuck this. He's trying to get the crowd to say, fuck this sound man. And look at the booth. Everybody flick off. I mean, I'm serious shit. I'm in the booth with security guys. I look at the bar manager, Jimbo at the time, and I go, shout out to Jimbo. And I go, and he's still there. And I go, yo. And in some way, shape, or form, a little cloudy, but he gets over some security. Shit. Because Ghostface is literally, it's called inciting a riot. Wow. It's a real thing. So he is trying to incite a riot and get the sound man to get jumped.
Wow.
Real shit. Dude, I'm in the booth. And now Jim has me I'm now in the booth behind the sound man because Jim won't let me out. Because now the security's there, and at this point in time, now it's protecting the staff.
Damn.
Ghostface drops the fucking microphone, which is completely unprofessional. You never drop the microphone. If you drop the microphone, you're going to get kicked off of my stage. So he drops the microphone, pissed off or whatever. Jump the fucking sound man, beat that motherfucker's ass. Swear to God. Leaves. His bus, whatever he had in back, whatever. So people are all pissed off. The DJ starts playing. I forget some of the details, but we're able, through the DJ's music, through me getting on the microphone behind the sound booth, we're able to kind of, hey, get your drinks are going, make sure you tip your bartenders,
calm the crowd down.
Trying to calm the crowd down, and it worked. As it worked,
shit, man.
And as it's doing that, I'm sitting there next to the sound man. I think it was Luke at the time. Shout out to Luke. I think it was Luke. He takes all the levels, every single fucking level on that expensive ass $thousands a board, puts them all back where they were from the beginning of the sound check, where they were perfect leveled for Ghost.
Yeah.
About 10, 15 minutes, not too long. He didn't take a long time. Several of his team came to the sound booth and made sure that things were put back right, but they didn't get in. Scully's would not let them into the booth. I was the only one allowed into the booth as far as the show.
Oh, wow.
So he puts all the levels right back where he fucking had them in the fucking beginning. Right. This man, Ghostface, gets on stage, grabs the microphone, everybody's cheering again. He's like, before you drop that beat, so the beat of the first song dropped, whatever, can't remember exactly, and Ghost is on there, and he goes, he's like this, bobbing his head and shit, and he's like, now that's what I'm talking about, sound man. That's what I'm talking about. Shit you not, bro.
It was like that in the beginning.
Crazy. Sound man looks at me, gives me a funny look. I look at sound man. He's like,
you're like, you see?
I was like, wow.
That's hilarious.
Blew my mind.
It was all in his head.
Blew my mind. Because he was getting excited and angry, and as he was performing and getting physically performing and getting, I just think and Ghostface is kind of known as being kind of a hothead. I mean, come on, we ain't saying nothing wrong.
Yeah, we know the reputation.
I mean, I ain't talking shit. I'm just saying what it is.
We know how Ghostface can be.
Ghostface,
that's how he is.
That's the reputation.
Hilarious.
So the only thing I can think of is he was just getting warmer and hotter and whatever, and then
in the process he's fucking up his own levels.
And in the process he's fucking up the mic, holding the mic, standing on the speakers, doing everything he's doing.
He's like, sound man, get this shit right. He's like, if you stop fucking being barbaric, your sound would be fine.
If you 2 seconds take a fucking chill pill, god damn.
Hilarious. Yeah. And he comes back like, so I talk about sound.
And the rest of the show killed. But you want to know what? You want to know what he never did though? He never ended up doing that the second set. He never got too close again. Never fucked up again. There might have been a couple little randoms because that just happens in the world of entertainment and sound. But he didn't. It didn't happen again.
He calmed the fuck down. He probably knew like, yo, I'm probably bugging. I'm
telling you, man. I'm telling you.
That's hilarious.
But he won't admit that shit. He won't admit that shit.
Too much pride.
Too much pride.
You got another one you want to share with us, or you want to leave it at?
I'll give you the Kendrick Lamar story.
Oh, he's gonna give it to us exclusive right here on Cloth Talk Podcast. Grant Gatsby is going to give us the exclusive Kendrick Lamar story. The floor is yours.
So, always loved Kendrick Lamar as far as his music and everything. Nobody's perfect. Myself, anybody living to this day, I'm sure that there is, God bless them, that there are some people that have just not made tons of crazy mistakes. But even people that we all know will hear stories and be like, wait a minute, my aunt my aunt did this when she was 20. There's no way. Wait, you and mom got in a fight? You guys are the what?
Right.
So I want to make sure that the audience understands that we're all young, coming into anything, and do things that we don't want to do normally or we wouldn't normally do.
Of course.
Especially under the influence.
There you go.
Just is what it is.
Want to throw that disclaimer out there.
Throw that disclaimer out there. Make sure everybody, if you don't understand what I just said, then you need to stop listening because you're going to get mad and then you're going to get angry at me and whoever else. And it's nobody's fault at all. It just happened.
Yep. And the year is
We're talking about, okay, so it's after Ghostface. So we're talking probably 2005, mid-2000s.
Mid-2000s.
So I started Everybody Else's in 2004. Ghostface was Ghostface, that's right. Ghostface was like that 2007, 2008. That's when I had Talib Kweli a couple times, blah, 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 blah.
Nice.
It was after 2010.
So like 2011, 12?
2012 range. 2013, 2012. Okay. So another individual that I used to work with, we booked it collectively. And we booked TDE, the entire camp.
The whole camp. Y'all got the whole camp.
Under 5K.
Oh, y'all got the
And at the time, TDE was in West Coast, and they was already getting 10, 20 Gs. If you remember, TDE was already getting 10, 20K for shows. They was already making good money as TDE.
A conglomerate. How the fuck y'all pull that off?
Well, no. It just has to do with intelligence. They understood that it wasn't New York City. It wasn't Cali. And for them to get where they wanted to get as a collective place, which, what do we know to this day, right? They knew that they had to spread out. Now, that's something, side note, that we can talk about in music sometime.
Okay.
But artists understanding where they go. You could be a top tier artist, but if you go to Columbus, Ohio on a Tuesday, you're not going to get the money that you get on a Saturday in New York City, right? Okay, so you got to know these things, business. Yeah. So they were one of the ones that were intelligent and understood that.
Wow.
So they were already getting 10 to 20 grand. So I think it was between 5 and 7,500 is what we got them for the whole camp.
Wow.
What
a steal.
Was it before Section 80?
She said 2012. Let me see. Kendrick 2012 albums.
Yeah, because it was right there. It was right there. Like, I want to say that it was like...
That's a Good Kid, Mad City. That came out 2012.
Okay. So it wouldn't have been then.
Okay.
It was before that. So I'm going to guess...
So you thinking Section 80 time?
Yeah, I'm thinking like the Ghostface was like the 2006 to 2008, and then TDE was at 2008 to 2010, something like that.
So Section 80 came out 2011.
Okay, so there you go. It was right around that time.
Okay.
So, and they were all on tour. It was the TD. It was the whole camp.
J-Rock.
Oh yeah, Absol. It was the core, the original core.
Them three.
Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy, J-Rock,
Absol, and Kendrick Lamar.
Wow, all four of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the whole show went out. I don't drink when I work my shows.
Okay, you try to be sharp.
But I'm 99% of the time I'm on point and sharp, and only once the last act's on is I might start having a couple drinks or something.
Get loose.
That. Yeah. Even like weed, I'll smoke before. But then once the first acts go on, I won't smoke the rest of the show. Yeah. So, show goes on without a hitch. Nothing was happening before or during the show.
Okay.
So it's done.
Nice.
People are leaving.
Okay.
Now I think between me, my buddy Jimbo at Scully's, and my other dude Brendan, which at the time was head of security at Scully's. He no longer is. Okay. He's the coach for the OSU football squad.
Oh shit.
The after college football squad. I'm not saying it right, but there's the athletic football team for OSU specifically. He's their coach now?
Wow.
But it's like the after school football program. It's not obviously the Ohio State. Yeah, obviously.
Like practice squad guys or something like that?
No, like a secondary, like flag football or something like that.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Something like that.
Like another division.
Extracurricular, but it's official Ohio State football. Yeah. They won the championship this year. He's the coach.
Hey, shout out to him.
Yeah. So Brendan was the head of security. I'm pretty sure all three of us have a little bit different of how it happened because of just our fucking age at this point, okay? But I'm going to tell it the way I remember it.
Okay.
But it's not the full story because they have the full stories because they were security. Okay. But the story goes like this.
Gotcha.
Kendrick, towards the end, started to drink and get drunk. So he, surprise, surprise. But he wasn't staying upstairs in the VIP. He was coming down and getting drinks with the people. And that's cool. He was building with the people. But remember, Section 80, I don't even know if it was even technically out yet. Okay,
right before it came out.
I'm just saying it was those years, right?
Yeah.
So that's how young he was and how they were just starting. I think it might have been their first national tour.
Wow.
Okay, so think about that. So young, the whole thing. So they're going into the crowd saying hi to people, signing merchandise table, the whole thing. People are leaving, kind of that time frame. He was getting drunk, and one of the bartenders at the time, a younger lady, she was a little, she was around my age at the time. She's not there anymore, but she always got along with me, and I always got along with her. But there was a reason she was kind of the lead bartender. She was kind of a spitfire, you know. She wasn't good. She didn't let artists treat her. That's why she was in the position she was. She wasn't going to let men or asshole artists come and treat her bad. Give me this bottle, all this bullshit. She didn't take any fucking shit.
Right.
And when I say don't mean take any shit, she was probably, as a female in a predominantly male atmosphere of hip hop, she was probably a little bit more, I'm not going to take any shit. And that's okay. Wow. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. The point of it is Kendrick was drunk and he wanted to get more drinks and bottles. So all the things that he was given already on the rider, everything was all gone. But we were still I mean, it's artists, we're going to let him whatever. Yeah. But what he was doing is he was so drunk now he was going to the bar trying to get bottles and drinks. So the story goes that he got so belligerent with her that he threw a drink or tossed a drink in her direction and spit in her direction.
Damn.
Now, some of the other stories say that it was his manager and they were all together collectively getting drinks. I remember them collectively together trying to get more drinks. But as I was ending the show, that wasn't my main concern. My main concern was the band, the sound man, making sure that the door guy's being taken care of, get the people out of the green room. It's time to leave. Yeah. Let's get everybody to leave. So there could have been a sense too of like, we're TDE, we're young, we're here, we're rock stars. Right. Yeah. All that kind of plays in effect. But what I do know is, for a fact, that, him and the team were up there getting drinks. And from what I understand, Kendrick threw something and there was spit in her direction from the team. So when that happened, she immediately went to the owner of Scully's, Mr. Scully and whatever, and the manager and the other guy, Brendan, whoever was there, basically we were told they're kicked out now. They can't stay and they can never come back.
Damn.
So that's the story.
Damn. TDE gets kicked out of Scully's for spitting and throwing a drink at the bartender. Wow.
Craziness.
That's a crazy story. That's wild. And they've never been back to Ohio since. Well, to Columbus since.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been back plenty.
Yeah, they've been in Columbus.
Since then?
Not the whole team, no. I guess you're right. Kendrick has obviously been to the shot and I think he was probably at the see they wouldn't have by that time they got within 1 year, within 12 months of that. Yeah. They were back on tour and Kendrick was getting blown up.
Yeah, at that point
he was blown up and they were already Newport and bigger already. Yeah. So within 1 year they're going to that.
Yeah. Wow. So, what a story. That's crazy. Man, what do you know? I guess like when you think about it, you kind of look at like the position they were in that time being young and we them guys, we the new guys on the scene, we hot, give me the fucking drink, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she like, the fuck, I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are.
Yeah, that's basically what we saying. That's basically how it went down. Yeah.
There you go. All right, 2 final questions. We going to wrap this up, Grants Gatsby. This has been a dope episode. This has been lovely. Hopefully, people who are watching and listening, hopefully you probably learned something.
I forgot this was live. This is live, right?
No, we're not live.
Okay, we're not live. Okay,
no, we're not live. When they watch this back, they're kind of like, I'm talking to him. But hopefully, as you're watching this, if you watched it this long, you're still here with us. Shout out to you, by the way, because you've been going for a nice minute. You probably.
Man, I hope I didn't talk too. Yeah, I hope I didn't talk too long.
No, trust me, I've had longer episodes than this. This is good. But hopefully, y'all learned something new about Grant Gatsby that you probably didn't know before. For those who probably think you're a culture vulture, probably hopefully that's been cleared up. But he's like, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. Fuck it, whatever. It's all love. All right. 2 final questions. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because I wonder this. Do you feel appreciated in the city?
I do. I know we talked a little bit about the beginning to the end and the 20 years and even sometimes now, but that's, but asking that question, full on, I mean, after 20 years, regardless of the little hiccups and some of the haters in general, I 100% feel the love.
That's dope.
Even when we want to beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
And I want to sit here and say, man, I'm just nobody. I get the humble shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm just nobody. Nobody cares, whatever. But it's not really true. Mm-hmm. People really do. I have small little instances all the time that come out from artists or fans or people or random or old school or new kids where they come up and they just, they want me to listen to their record, or I talk to them and or I book them, whatever the case is. And like I said, old heads to new kids. And I get told, my girl says to me all the time, like, hey, Grant, I know that you beat yourself up, you're hard on yourself, but I have to sit back, no cockiness at all, but I have to sit back, and it helps you with motivation and with my passion and my drive. And I really have to sit back when I hear Rawls speak in front of a bunch of people and randomly decides to point me out and say my name. I really have to sit back and really appreciate what that is and really appreciate Grant. If anything, you made an impression in the city the right way. And that's what I'd like to think. So I really do feel that.
That's beautiful. That's dope.
I do.
For you, I'm curious to know this, like, you mentioned that, that you're hard on yourself, and, there's a standard and demand that you have for yourself that you constantly want to reach and set the bar. And I need to do more. I need to do more. I'm not there yet. For you, like, do you feel like you reached the success that you wanted to reach throughout this entertainment journey that you've been on? Like, you know what? I can hang my cap and say, you know what? I've reached it.
That is a interesting question to someone that considers himself a high creative.
Yes.
And someone that is passionate and wants to become successful financially and appreciative wise to myself and inside me. And part of me, everybody wants to answer like, oh yeah, I can hang my hat, I did this. Well, yeah, we can all say that. Yeah. But I'm a continuing to mold artist and creative. Fuck no, I'm not where I want to be.
Something told me that answer was coming.
Hell no.
You're not where you want to be at all.
Hell no. The two sides on the shoulders, man, these shoulders are constantly fucking battling with each other. Grant, you're good. You've done this. You're good. Just chill. No. You could have done this. You could have done this. You could have done this. You could still do this. I said to Andy Downing one time when I had that article written about me, I said the biggest thing I said to him was, there is no age limit to success. Every form of art in the world, of art and entertainment, doesn't care how old you are, but one form. Music.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden plays, films, nobody gives a fuck about anybody's age. And then all of a sudden, music, guy with a mic on the stage, comes onto the stage with a mic and someone's like, oh my God, how old are they? Right. What the fuck? Oh, he's too old to be rapping. Yeah. He's too old to be booking shows. He's too old to be a drummer in a band. That's bullshit, man. There's no age to success. There's no age limit to success.
Love it. Love it. You're not done. Not hanging it up yet.
No. No.
Still
absolutely.
much more to accomplish.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Okay. You mentioned something earlier in the first half. I forgot to bring it back up. And you don't have to go into it if you want to. That time in your life, that moment where when the guy pulled the gun out on you and you got robbed. I'm curious to know, like, that in that point of your life, when you look back at it, just looking, this man got the gun to you. What's going through Grant Gatsby's mind at that point? You're at gunpoint.
Gonna end it deep as shit, man.
I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I'm sorry.
That's the point of it. That's
Shout out to
point.
Annie.
Yeah. You said what was going through my head?
Yeah, at that moment, you're face to face with, that moment, and it's just you and this guy, and here you are, here he is.
So, I was expecting a friend to come over, so I was rolling a joint on the table. And it was about 5, 6, 7 feet away from the front door apartment at the time, which was second story with stairs. He had another person with him behind them that also had a gun. I thought that it was my friend that was supposed to be over there.
Oh.
So as I'm rolling, as I'm sitting there finishing my food, rolling up my shit, whatever, waiting on my buddy to be there, I hear a knock on the door. They fucking knocked on the door.
Wow.
Yeah, right? So, I don't fucking know, man.
That's crazy.
So, I said, come in, because I thought it was my dude, man.
Fuck. Right.
And we didn't, it wasn't it was close to, it wasn't a horrible, horrible area, but it also wasn't the suburbs whatsoever.
Gotcha.
It was on the east side of town by Linden, and it was the Linden area by Cleveland.
Ooh.
And but anyway, so I said the words, and I was like, "Hey, come in," and he opened the door casually, and
he just let himself in.
So at that moment, I'm sitting here. So that
where the mirror is.
Well, I'd be turned this way.
So the door is right here?
Yeah. So the door's like right there. And I'm like, come in, and I'm kind of sitting this way, kind of sitting at this the table by the door. And they walk right in. And I stare right at them. And immediately the guy has the gun pointed right at, he's holding it sideways, which... It's not the fucking movies, people. So if anybody knows anything about weapons or firearms,
right.
And so he kind of looks at me, and then I could see that there was a guy with a gun behind him standing. I say, come in. He kind of walks in the door and opens the door and is inside first step kind of a thing with the door wide open. His buddy with the gun is right behind him, right outside the doorway. And my girl's behind me at the time, my ex, and which shout out to her, fuck you. She left me after that. But get out there. She left me after I saved their lives. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Ungrateful.
Insane.
Wow.
So I tell her. So he walks in me. So eye contact, standing right there, and I'm like, and he's like. No words are even said. So it seems what I'm explaining to you right now seems like all this time's going by. Yeah. No,
it's happening fast.
The entire incident happened from the door opening and him pointing his gun to me doing what I did. Less than a minute.
Okay.
So the next action that happened was I literally. So he's looking at me.
No words,
looking at me. And again, this happened very quickly. So he didn't even necessarily have a chance to say words, really. That's how quickly this happened. So I'm sitting there like this. He's sitting there like this, opens the door, blah, blah. He's right there, points the gun. Within 1 second or so, he turned his head. He barely turned his head. Stupidest mistake you can do. If you're trying to confront anybody, anything of that nature, if you ever watch a police officer or military person, not that I condone military or police in this country, we won't get into it, but
you don't take your eyes off.
You don't take your eyes off. So I knew that. So within him turning his eyes to his friend, almost maybe to get him to come in, I don't fucking know. Again, split second still. As he turned his head, I got up off the table and I was already on him. So I had his hand with his gun up.
So his arm is like this now.
So his arm's like this. So I'm holding this. He's trying to use. He's trying to move his arm. He did. I got a bump. He did clock me with the back of the gun. It didn't even faze me. You gotta remember, I grew up on a farm. You know what I'm saying? I got my teeth knocked in. I can take a few shit. I can take some shots.
You gotta come harder than that.
So you gotta come harder than that. So he tries to pop me. He did manage to hit me like with the butt of his gun on the back.
But nothing was on it.
But right, nothing was on it. And it was still holding up. As this is going on, I'm yelling to my ex at the time, get in the room, call the cops, get in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
So she's running to the room. He's trying to get his friend at this time to help out. Like, dude, bro, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
Yo!
So I take his hand. I choke him. Or no, I have his hand up. He hits me in the head. I take his hand, and I physically, because now he's worried now. So his energy from his hand now, his strength from his hand is going away because now it's going to other things like his other hand, trying to grab me, turn around away from me.
It's a tussle.
Right.
And he's losing.
So he's losing badly because as soon as he's thinking that, I'm already a step ahead of him. So I'm like, in my head, I'm going, I have to get the gun in the opposite direction. So as he becomes a little loose, I spin him around with his gun. I spin his body around.
Shit.
Now I got him here.
Oh, shit. You got full control now.
I got full control. I busted him in the knee. I literally picked this man up, put him on my fucking shoulder, and I dropped him off the second-story balcony onto a floor.
Yo.
Now, was he 250 pounds, 6'2"? No. He was probably about 6'1" range taller than me, and he probably was about 25 or so pounds heavier than me.
You handled him.
My adrenaline was so high. It's the only thing I can think of. It's the only thing a doctor said. My adrenaline was so high and I acted so quickly that by the time that I was ready and I had him spun around and had his neck, when I kicked him, that was able to give me that gravity momentum, and I put him on my shoulder and I threw him over the balcony.
What floor y'all on?
Second story.
God damn.
The only thing I heard was, ugh. I just heard this big... Ugh, like the most cringiest of cringes. So I don't know what happened to him.
So his homie runs off?
Oh, his homie. He was gone. He dropped his weapon and there was piss on the fucking stairs. His homie
pissed on himself.
Yeah, he was definitely younger. Like he was like he grabbed some young kid from the.
Hey, come on, man.
Yeah. Something like that.
Wow.
So I heard the thud.
Fuck?
I locked the door. Got my bat real quick. My ex had already called the cops, and then the cops showed up.
Shit! God damn, Grant. And she breaks up with you. Then she leaves you.
We had to move within 2 weeks. What? So we had to pack all of our stuff, break the lease, move out because you know why?
Why had to leave?
I knew. No.
Oh, you're like, I'm not staying here.
They didn't get everything.
They're probably coming back.
Oh, they was coming back.
You're like, no, we ain't staying here. We getting the fuck out of here.
I didn't tell the whole story, but 2 weeks before, we got robbed probably by the same people. They were trying to get my shoes, my hats, all the electronics. We busted them coming back on a Saturday night at like 12. We came back early and they jumped out the windows. I knew they was coming back. So when they came back that second time, I mean, keep it real. I knew that second time, and I threw them out of their own situation that they wanted. You don't think that? Of course they're coming back. So, and then she's scared to death.
Right.
So, of course, what am I going to say? No, of course I am. I want to get the fuck out of here too.
Right.
So we leave.
Yeah.
We had to leave within 2 weeks. Damn. Literally within 2 weeks. My one buddy came over almost every night. My one friend let me borrow one of his weapons. Blah blah blah. And they didn't. Dude, it might have even been within like 7 to 8 days type shit.
Damn.
So Found a place. Couldn't believe we found one. The whole thing. She looked, whatever. Moved there. So we're talking under 4 weeks from the incident. I had to still work and pay bills, right? I still had to be a man, right?
Right.
I still had to go to work and pay bills, right?
Shit don't stop because of that.
Shit don't stop. So we moved in, and then I had to go to work, and I was working for an installation company at the time, and we had to go out of town. We went out of town for it. I had no choice. It was the last thing I wanted, but I had no choice.
You think I wanted to go out of town?
I already had a week off, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So had to go back to work. Came home after 3 days and the whole house was empty and she left. Now you wonder why I say I've been having a kind of a history with, it's either a hate or love thing with him, you know what I'm saying?
That's how she left you.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Jesus. Man, you a fucking...
Made me stronger.
I'm about to say, like, you literally...
Made me a better person.
Put the life on the line. You could have, you know, God forbid, obviously, you know, you're still here, but that could have ended horribly. And
did you know that?
God damn.
There was some
no
people,
words and no to nothing.
Nothing. There was some people.
That's crazy.
There was a few family members of hers, and there was a few individuals that I no longer am in contact with that were almost angry that I did that. And obviously I didn't do it when the gun was cocked, loaded, like okay, the movie stories, right? You know, whatever, and it's in your mouth or something. Obviously I didn't do anything when that was going on.
Right.
Like I said, he turned his head.
And you just reacted.
Well, you've been trained by military. The police officers asked me if I've been trained by military or anything. I said no.
Wow.
I just did it. It was instinct. But I had people that were upset that I did that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't understand. So you're upset that I saved your...
Potentially saved your daughter's life.
Right.
And mine.
I'm the bad guy?
I'm the bad guy.
Oh, I was supposed to let her get shot. Got you.
Raped, beat up,
or even that,
shot, anything. Tied up, abused, knocked out, anything.
Torture, whatever.
Assaulted, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I was just supposed to just let them do what they wanted to do.
Not Grant. Not me. Wow. You better come with something strong.
That wasn't gonna get it done. You like, you gonna have to hit me harder than that, buddy.
Nah, man, I ain't gonna do shit. Not my. You kidding me? It's my thick ass head skull. Shit, son. You better come with a fucking shotgun, bro. Or a Louisville fucking slugger. Not no motherfucking 9 milli fucking butt.
That ain't gonna get it done.
Nope.
Holy shit, man. Wow. What a fucking story, bro. Damn. I'm just trying to understand her perspective on why she left like that. I was trying to put my mind.
I told you about my mom. My mom being in counseling, and she was also my mom was a teacher and a counselor, like not a therapist, but
she worked with people with disabilities, right?
Yeah. She worked for the state of Ohio for APSI, Advocacy and Protective Services.
Okay.
Growing up, whole life, my mom said that, in her opinion, and I said this in the interview when I interviewed with Andy Dowling with Columbus Alive,
nice.
That there was probably some PTSD going on.
Oh.
I mean, if you're used to one area your whole life, you haven't seen much in your whole life. Yeah. You've been pretty coddled, pretty safety netted. Yeah. No matter where you come from or who you are, woman, man, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You might be, things might affect you differently. And although I didn't come from a broken home or
something, like, neither did I.
crazy, but I was aware enough of how the real world worked, and I wanted to know about it.
Yes.
And some people don't. Yeah. And so I just think that my mom, like I said, I agree with my mom. I think that she might have had a little bit of a
spook
trauma.
Scare,
I mean, I had trauma too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, ain't both of us involved in this?
I was dealing with it. I mean, fuck.
Like, I'm fighting a motherfucker. You're in the back with calling it. I'm dealing with it right here. Yeah. I should be the one running away.
Right here in front of my face, exactly.
I should be running away. Wow. Well, young lady, if you, I don't know, if you watching or listening to this, I hope you're doing well. I don't know. I don't know what to say. That's wild, man.
Yeah. I don't have the best of wishes for her, but again, hey, people, I'm still dealing with it, right? I'm still dealing with it. I'm expressing it. I'm still dealing with it. It is what it is.
There you go. Man. Wow. That's wild, man. Okay, final question, and we out of here, Grant Gatsby.
All right.
What is the biggest misconception about Grant Gatsby? That's how we go.
Okay. The biggest misconception about me. Okay. I don't even know how to word it right. The biggest misconception.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't even know if I'm going to say it right to anybody that listens or anything. The biggest misconception that I think that people have, which could be completely different, but the biggest misconception that I think people have is that I'm angry and I have culture vulture in me. That's the big, and that goes back to all the things we've talked about. Yep. But I think the biggest misconception is that because of my position, I'm automatically viewed as he's trying to take your money. He's got a bunch of money, but nobody he works with has any money, and he seems a little more aggressive than I like. When in reality, that's just my passion, and it couldn't be farther from the truth of me not caring.
Yes. So that's the biggest misconception about you.
Like I said, I rent. You know what I'm saying? I rent.
Yeah.
I rent.
Yeah.
I got a car. I got a car that's 10 years old. You know what I'm saying?
You're not better than the next man. We're all out here trying to get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I forgot. Great. We got a segment on the show that we end. This is called Guess to Guess Quespo. So break this down to you. This is a segment on the show that we end. In this bowl, for those who are listening, you probably can't see, but we have a red bowl here. So in this bowl, Grant, every guest that's been on the show that sat in that seat, or even submitted questions are in this bowl, and they left random questions for the next guest to answer. So I do not write these. I don't go through these.
Okay.
The guests, and you'll write one when we end here and put it in. You can write how many as you want, but when we end it, they write a question and they put it in here for the next guest to answer. So you can draw as many as you want. You give them a little shuffle. The only rule to the game is you can't cheat. You can't look. Blind shuffle. Pick how as many as you want. You gotta read it out loud and answer honestly, and there are no putbacks, or you can't skip a question.
Okay.
There you go.
Do I know who did it?
No, I don't even know who wrote these.
Okay. We don't even know. Oh man.
You can take the bowl.
Okay. Let's see.
Give him a nice little shake. Don't look. Eyes up. There we go.
Get a little shake.
You can draw as many as you want. 1, 2, 3.
Making sure that they're nice and mixed here. Okay.
Yeah. Guess to guess quest bowl with Grant Gatsby. You got one.
I grabbed one.
Read out loud and answer honestly.
Okay. Oh shit.
You can't put it back, Grant.
Bro, this looks crazy. This looks crazy.
You gotta read out loud.
I gotta know whoever did this. I gotta know who the fuck it is. Okay. So. Story mode.
Okay.
Become an assassin, where you find out your next target is your spouse of 4 years. If you decline this mission, your boss kills your mom's side of the family. Do you go through with your mission or decline?
Dial!
Dude, so I'm read
that one more time.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
I have to become an assassin.
So you're an assassin.
Where I find out that my next target as an assassin is my spouse of 4 years.
Poor Andy.
If I decline this mission from the Assassin's Creed, my boss of the Assassin's Creed, kills my mom's side of the family. The entire mom's side of the family. Do you go with your mission or decline?
Damn. So if you don't take out Annie, your whole mom's side of the family dies.
Dude, this is some fucked up shit. This is a great thing because it puts someone in a position where you're like, damn, you gotta say some shit.
Yeah, but if you say no to the mission, you get to keep Annie, but your mom's side of the family dies. But if you accept the mission, you gotta take Annie out, and your mom's side of the family lives.
Okay, I'm gonna make a joke.
Jesus Christ!
What, like extended family?
All sides of my
We're
family.
talking everybody related to mom.
The whole tree.
Wow. So I think I found it out.
How you gonna get out of this?
So what I'm gonna do is
Annie, turn this off right now.
As an assassin, as a veteran assassin of the Assassin's Creed, I'm gonna go ahead and take out my gun and end it and shoot myself.
Oh shit! That's how you get out of it.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna shoot myself.
Take yourself out. You can't shoot Annie or get your mom's whole side of it.
I'm gonna shoot myself. Everything they can. Yeah.
Sacrifice yourself.
Sacrifice myself.
God damn it. What a fucking question. Guess to guess question with Gatsby, everybody. God damn it.
Woo. I'm gonna take myself out.
Yeah, man. People hate that segment. Some people hate it, some people love it.
No, that's awesome. Like that. I love it.
But you'll be able to put questions in there too after we wrap up here.
That's great.
Makes you think, does put you in a position like, God damn.
You're like, yeah. And out of all the questions, I'm sure there's some questions in there that are probably pretty simple. Like,
very easy.
Who's your favorite artist?
Yes.
You know? Not this one.
Right, Aaron.
Bro, that's awesome.
You got to, wow.
Yeah, whoever did that question.
Fuck them.
That was a good question.
Very good.
Or you're extremely angry with your family right now and your wife.
All right, Gatsby, we're gonna wrap this up. Appreciate you for coming on, man. This has been dope. Glad that you was able to. You told your story plenty of times, but I'm glad that you tell it on this platform, man. And hats off to you for all that you've done and all that you continue to set out to do and being hard on yourself, because I do in some way think that is needed, to be tough on yourself as a person.
I agree.
Because if you don't set expectations and standards for yourself, you become lazy.
Yeah.
And by having high expectations for yourself, that drive and fire will never burn out.
Yep.
So hats off to you, man, and everything that you've accomplished throughout your career and journey, and everything that you continue to accomplish.
Absolutely.
Any last words that you want to leave the people with as we come to a close here? Any final thoughts, anything you want to leave the people with as we wrap this up? Go ahead.
I just want to say, if there is anybody out there that needs help with booking or management or anything of that nature, please hit me up at the Great Grant Gatsby on IG.
Yes.
Grant Gatsby on Facebook. And besides that, man, just understand that the creative family is everywhere in the industry. Everybody from behind the scenes all the way to on stage, before, during, and after. And the statement of somebody doing it on their own and being the only person, and all the cliche statements of, I came from nothing, it was just me. It's all bullshit. Everybody has a team. Everybody has a family. Everybody has individuals, rather in work, outside of work, or both, that has helped them in some way, shape, or form, especially once they start to become successful, that help them in your to get to where you want to be. And don't ever forget your roots, and don't ever forget the people that support you and that are there. Yep.
Love it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Grant Gatsby, man. Appreciate you for coming through. This has been another episode of Club Talk Podcast. If you like this episode, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, so you won't miss out on more dope guests like Grant Gatsby coming through. You never know who may come on. Maybe it'll be Catalyst.
Yeah.
Maybe
we see you, son.
Yeah, maybe we can get him outside one time. Get him tell the story, figure out why he turned down deals to be the greatest of all time. We'll explore that, hopefully. Shit. And more importantly, make sure y'all tapping with Grant, man. Y'all got all the socials. Everything will be in the link in the description of this episode, so I'll make it easy for you so you can just click. All right, how about that? No excuses.
There we go.
We out. See you in another episode. Peace.